Mangawang, Mangudadato Suharto, Mangudadato Zahid, Marcoleta, Marcos, Marino, Marquez, Martinez, Matugas, Meliana, Mending, Mendoza, Mercado, Mirasol, Montoro, Nava, Nieto, Noel, Nograles Jericho, Nograles Carlo, Nolasco, Núñez Malañaon, Huaminal, Ocampo, Olivares, Ong Edwin, Ong Henry, Ortega Pablo, Ortega Bininola, Pacquiao, Paduano, Palma, Pancho, Panganiban, Panotes, Papandayan, Pichay, Pimentel, Pineda, Plaza, Primicia Sagabas, Kimbo, Radaza, Ramiresato, Ramos, Relampagos, Revilla, Rowapuno, Robes, Rocamora, Rodriguez Isidro, Rodriguez Maximo, Roman, Romero, Romualdez, Romualdo, Roque Hari, Roque Rogelio, Sakdalan, Sagarbaria, Sahali, Salceda, Salimbangon, Salo, Salon, Sambar, Sandoval, Santos Recto, Sarmiento Cesar, Sarmiento Edgar Mary, Sabeliano, Sema, Xiao, Silverio, Singson, Swansing Estrelita, Swansing Horacio, Suarez, Si Alvarado, Tambunting, Tan Angelina, Tan Milagrosa, Tan Cherny, Tejada, Tebes, Tianco, Ting, Tinio, Tolentino, Treñas, Tugna, Tupas, Turabinataman, Ti, Umali, Unabia, Ungab, Unico, Uy Juliet, Uy Rolando, Uy Barreta, Vargas, Vargas Alfonso, Velarde, Velasco, Velasco Jatera, Vergara, Villafuerte, Villanueva, Villaraza Suarez, Villarica, Villarin, Biolago, Yap Arthur, Yap Melesio, Yap Victor, Yu, Zamora Maria Carmen, Zamora Ronaldo, Zarate Subiri. Madam Speaker, the roll call shows that 227 members responded to the call.
With 227 members responding to the call, the chair declares the presence of a quorum. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, considering that the copies of journal of the previous session has been distributed to the members, I move that we approve journal number 30, dated September 27, 2017. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The journal of September 30 is hereby approved. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions on first reading, as well as communications and committee reports. So move, Madam Speaker.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved. The Secretary General is directed to read the bills and resolutions on first reading for referral to the appropriate committees.
Reference of business, bills on first reading, House Bill 6476, adopting innovation as vital component of the country's development policies, Representative Yap Arthur.
To the Committee on Small Business and Entrepreneurship Development.
House Bill 6477, implementing basic journalism course as mandatory subject in the senior high school, Representative C. Alvarado.
To the Committee on Basic Education and Culture.
Resolutions, House Resolution 1338, direct the Committee on Information and Communications Technology to investigate the management and administration of the country's radio frequency spectrum by the NTC, Representative Yap Victor.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1339, urging the investigation by the NTC on the billing charge being promulgated by the various telecommunications Entities, Representative Lee.
To the Committee on Rules.
House Resolution 1340, urging the DOLE to institutionalize a biennial OFW Summit, Representative Botocabe.
To the Committee on Overseas Workers Affairs.
House Resolution 1341, congratulating, commending Jiu-Jitsu fighters Margarita Ochoa and Annie Ramirez, Representative sa Estrella.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1342, congratulating, commending the Philippine team who won gold medals in the 9th ASEAN Paralympic Games, Representative Estrella.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1343, expressing warm felicitations and congratulations to the Filipino athletes for bringing pride and honor to our country in the 29th Southeast Asian Games, Representative Olivares.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1344, expressing warm felicitations and congratulations to Mr. Artus Bukay, Representative Olivares.
To the Committee on Youth and Sports Development.
House Resolution 1345, urging the Committee on Higher and Technical Education to investigate the alleged attacks on students' democratic rights in the PUP, Representative Ilago.
To the Committee on Rules.
Message from the President, message dated 20 September, certifying the necessity of immediate enactment of Senate Bill 1584.
To the Committee on Rules.
Communications, letters dated August 3 and September 4, Michael J. Aguinaldo, Chairperson, COA.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
2016 annual audit reports on various water districts.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated August 30, 2017 of Catalina Escuy, Officer in Charge, DILG.
To the Committee on Local Government.
Letter dated 5 September of Marilu P. Mendoza, Chairperson, Tariff Commission.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letter dated September 6 of Meridi Bakwaden, Assistant Regional Director, COA.
To the Committee on Appropriations.
Letters dated 22 September of Roger Edino, Deputy Director, BSP.
To the Committee on Banks and Financial Intermediaries.
Committee reports, report number 397, House Bill number 1530.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 398 on the investigation on the alleged smuggling of high-grade shabu.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 399 on House Resolution numbers 1054 and 1057.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize some guests in the gallery. The guests of Honorable Francisco Gamboa Datol Jr., representative of Senior Citizen Party List. They are Secretary General 7, Yusek Ace Millar, HUDC, Yusek Josel Egco, Public Information Agency, Yusek Emily Padilla of the DILG, Region 3 Senior Citizen President, Retired Judge Ricardo Agapito, Region 1 Asingan Pangasinan Federation President, Norma Butuyan, some Senior Citizens President of NCR, Manila, Caloocan, Parañaque, Quezon City, Pasig, Taguig, San Juan, Marikina, Pateros, Mandaluyong, Malabon, Makati, Pasay, Valenzuela, and Navotas. And also some councilors of Quezon City, some barangay captains of Quezon City, and Miss Araceli Wong, former governor of Catanduanes, Senior Citizen Board of Directors, Amado M. Calderon, Marcelo Landicho, Efren T. Santos, Rogelio Galman, Erlinda Baniega.
Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Please stand. Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I also move to acknowledge the guests of Representative Muhammad Kahid Q. Di Maporo, Vice Governor Maria Cristina N. Atay, for the 1st District, Board Member Muammar Jack S. Maruhom, Board Member Makarupong B. Dibaratum, Board Member Renario B. Bihag, Board Member Marivic D. Ramos, Board Member Graciel Matalines. For 2nd District, Board Member Cesar Yap, Board Member Superman Usop, Board Member Abdul Haris Ali, Board Member Tawan-Tawan Kauntongan. So moved.
Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I also move to acknowledge the guests of Honorable Ruby M. Sahali, Representative Lone District of Tawi-Tawi, Ms. Fatima Sheridana L. Kahid of Bongao, Tawi-Tawi, and her fellow participant to the 2017 SHIP for Southeast Asian and Japanese Youth Program. So moved.
Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize the guests of Honorable Jose Lito Atienza Jr., our Senior Deputy Minority Leader and Representative of Buhay Party List. He is Araceli Ramiscal, an officer of Mahal Ko Si Lolo, Mahal Ko Si Lola. So moved.
Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the guests of Honorable Tomasito S. Villarin, Representative Akbayan Party List. They are the samahan ng nagkakaisang pamilya ng Pantawid. They are Anafe Rangas, Elma Andaya, Arlene Palomata, Myra H. Daha, Perla Adolfo, Lita Amiano, Elena Garganera, Erlinda Cabasa, Regina Cisneros, Mercedita Abilion, Elizabeth Reed, Lucy Servas, Asuncion Tica, Marian Ramos, Rowena Paghilingan, Glenda Durante, Melina Alpay, Melba Hernandez, Marilyn Ranes, Jenna Tatasio, Nonita Hamok, Ma Florence Mendeja, Reynon Pimentel, Debbie Bartolo, Roy Calfofo Fo, Esmeralda Mendoza, and Debbie Bartolo. So moved, Madam Speaker.
Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, today being a Monday and pursuant to our rules, I move that we open the privilege hour.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The chair declares a privilege hour. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move to recognize the first gentleman that will avail the privilege hour, Representative Francisco G. Datol Jr. of Party List Senior Citizen. So move, Madam Speaker.
The Honorable Representative Francisco G. Datol Jr., Party List Senior Citizen, is recognized.
Madam Speaker, honorable ladies and gentlemen, today is an elderly Filipino week, or otherwise known as Senior Citizens Week. It is a celebration that is being held from 1 to 7 of October every year. This is a tribute to all senior citizens of the Philippines. The amendment of Proclamation Number 1503, Series of 1975, of former President Fidel Valdez Ramos declares that Elderly Filipino Week should be celebrated on the first week of October every year. The formation of events for the older community of the Philippines was in accordance to the United Nations General Assembly Resolution 3751 of 3 December 1982 to pursue an international action plan on aging. Presidential Proclamation 470, on the other hand, mandates the annual celebration of Elderly Filipino Week. To give importance to the roles of senior citizens in helping build the nation, it also aims to address the issues concerning the people sector. Department of Social Welfare and Development was given the responsibility to develop a social welfare program designed to promote and enhance the well-being of senior citizens. The proportion of elderly Filipino in general population is increasing in many countries and is predicted to rise still further in the coming decades. The numbers and proportions of older people in the population are steadily growing because of decreasing birth rates and increasing life expectancy due to modern technology and other government programs for prolonging life. Not to mention the rewards or incentives given to the older people if they reach a certain age. In the Philippines, there are about 10,500,000 senior Filipino citizens and is still growing every year. The figure is something to reckon with in terms of a number of electorates. Let me refresh this august body on how did our senior citizens party list exist. It was first incorporated as a corporation before the Securities and Exchange Commission in 2003. Our party was recognized and registered as one of the party list organization by the Avalos Commission. March 16, 27, by virtue of COMELEC resolution in SPP number 06026, thereafter, we joined the 27 elections, and it was only 2009 that we were given one seat in this House. In 2010, national elections, we were lucky to have been given 2 seats in this House. We again blessed in 2013 election, and we were again allotted 2 seats in the 16th Congress. Unfortunately, due to internal rift between contending factions, we were not able to occupy any seats in the 16th Congress. Again, in 2016 national elections, our party joined the said election, and we were allotted 2 seats in the Congress. After about a year of internal skirmishes, the sample representation and Representative Milagros A. Magsaysay had been proclaimed as senior citizen party list representative in 17th Congress. Senior Citizens Party List is blessed with big number of devoted and diehard senior citizens. However, there are numerous senior citizen association of organizations whose objective and plans for senior citizens are virtually the same. It is therefore my intention to unify, say, various association or organization in one group. That is what the creation of National Senior Citizen Commission, which now a pending bill in this august body. This bill seeks to create a National Senior Citizen Commission that will be responsible to effective implementation and monitoring of objectives of Republic Act number 7432, known as an act to maximize the contribution of senior citizens to nation building, grant benefits and special privileges, and for all the others as amended by Republic Act 9257, other known as Expanded Senior Citizen Act of 2003, and further amended by Republic Act number 9994, otherwise as known as Expanded Senior Citizen Act of 2010. While the objectives of the laws are quite clearly spelled out, which are to establish mechanism whereby the contribution of senior citizens are maximized, to adopt measures whereby our senior citizens are assisted and appreciated by the community as a whole, to establish a program beneficial to senior citizens, their families, and the rest of the community they serve, to establish community-based health and rehabilitation programs for all senior citizens in every political unit of society. But there is no national agency that is responsible for overall implementation of these objectives. At present, our senior citizens have to contend with the Office of Senior Citizens Affairs, found in every cities and municipalities, which is under the control and supervision of the respective local government units. Despite the services of OSCA, the requirements and needs of the senior citizen have not been fully served and satisfied. In reality, the Office of Senior Citizens Affairs currently functions merely as liaison center for senior citizens and mainly concerned with maintaining regular update on the list of senior citizens and issuing individual national identification cards. Across local government units, it has been observed that there is a lack of cohesiveness in terms of services rendered and implemented by senior citizens law by various offices of senior citizens affairs. but there is no suitable absence of cases filed for non-implementation of these laws and an apparent lack of proper implementation, monitoring, and enforcement. We have heard numerous unfortunate stories of senior citizens whose benefits and special privileges granted by law were not honored, and their complaints against erring business establishments remain unacted. Likewise, there is a need to preserve and strengthen the integrity of the identification cards of senior citizens, the only tool which entitles them to the privileges they had been granted by law. There are persons who have not yet reached the age of 60 years old but were able to secure OSCA ID cards for political accommodation or for a fee in order to avail of senior citizens' discounts and benefits. A number of mayors are guilty of violation of expanded Senior Citizen Act of 2010 by omission. Under this act, OSCA head is appointed by the mayor for a period of 3 years only without reappointment. Some mayors do not appoint any more new OSCA head after a period of 3 years for reason or reasons only to them. The would-be National Senior Citizens Commission is committed to correct this scheme and to curb the unscrupulous and indiscriminate issuance of OSCA IDs that deprives our government of its much-needed revenues. The creation of a single cohesive agency that will address the needs of our senior citizens, implement and enforce the laws, and monitor compliance for the welfare and benefits of our about 10,500,000 senior citizens throughout the country is primordial importance. We have already established National Youth Commission, Commission on Women, Poverty Commission, Commission for our brother Muslims. Why not give the 10.5 million senior citizens their own commission, the National Citizens Commission? Sa National Senior Citizens Commission, hindi na po kami manghihingi ng anuman pondo para palakarin ito. Ang pondo na magpapalakad sa aming komisyon ay manggagaling sa 1% na manggagaling sa 42,036 barangay na hindi pinakikinabangan ng 10,500,000 na senior citizens. Kasama na dito ang 1% ng mga syudad na kamukha ng Quezon City. Ang 1% every year, 170 million, at ganun din yung ibang mga syudad sa buong kapuluan ng Pilipinas. I strongly urge all members of this prestigious House of Representatives to approve our bill on the creation of National Senior Citizen Commission for the unification and centralization of all programs, objectives, and plans for all senior citizens in the Philippines. To give all senior citizens in the country equal treatment of benefits intended for them where they are Parplang area of Tawi-Tawi or in Batanes or in the hinterland of the 81 provinces. I also urge my fellow representatives to approve bills for the benefits of senior citizens, particularly the following: an act providing as aggravating circumstance when the victim of a crime is a senior citizen, and mitigating circumstance when the offender is a senior citizen, and amending for the purpose Act number 3815, otherwise known as the Revised Penal Code. Resolution to conduct an oversight investigation of the Portability Act in relation with the expanded Senior Citizen Act of 2010 with the purpose of granting retirees, pensioners, under the portability law, equal rights and benefits as retirees under other laws. An act increasing the monthly pension of indigent senior citizen from 500 to 1,000. Sana pumaris po sana tayo sa ibang bansa na ang mga nakatatanda kapag na ospital ay magagamot at makapagtrabaho kahit ilang oras lang ang mga senior citizen para sa mga lalakas pa na senior citizen. Our party predecessors in Congress had not made any tangible progress in terms of giving benefits to their constituent. Your humble representation is committed to correct this mistake by giving senior citizens good, valuable bills and other benefits that will primordially cater to their practical needs in the near and far future. Pursuant to this commitment, I intend to establish, build and create hospital in various parts of the country for the exclusive use of qualified senior citizens free of charge. To establish, build and create amusement centers in various parts of the country for exclusive use of senior citizens. To make bill that the representation be given to senior citizens in provincial boards, municipal city council, as well as in barangay council. To increase social pension for senior citizens every year to cope with inflation. To increase senior citizen discount. To establish job opportunities for senior citizen who is still able to work. To expand senior citizens discount to all goods in all groceries and supermarkets, electricity, water consumption without ceiling. To organize recreation program, ballroom dancing and Zumba for senior citizens. To provide ambulance services for every cities and municipalities for senior citizens. To exempt senior citizens for color coding. At present, senior citizens are enjoying the following benefits: but exemption for medicines, monthly pension of 500, 5% discount of Meralco and water bill, burial assistance of 2,000 pesos, pre-medical and dental diagnostic and laboratory services in government facilities, 20% discount for purchase of unbranded generic medicine, 20% discount in hotel, restaurant, recreation center, and others, 20% discount in medical and dental and laboratory and PhilHealth exemption. These are my intended legacies to all senior citizens of the Philippines, including senior citizens of this House and those members who sooner or later will become senior citizen. Napag-alamang ko po na kaming mga kongresista rito ay 82 ang senior citizen, pero ang iba ay hindi umaamin. At meron pa pong 4 na magbe-birthday bago mag-Disyembre, 86 na rin po kaming lahat. Alam niyo po ba, mga kapwa ko kongresista, 3 lang po ang kinakailangan ng mga nakatatanda. Yung 3 K. Kalusugan, magkaroon ng sariling ospital, kabuhayan, livelihood, yung pwede pang magtrabaho, at yung kasayahan. Yan pong 3 yan, pag ibinigay sa amin ng kapwa ko naming kongresista rito, ay magkakaroon na po ng kaligayahan ang 10,500,000 senior citizen. On October 20, 2017, we will be choosing, recognizing, and awarding 10 outstanding senior citizens in Mindanao who have extraordinarily contributed to the welfare and cause of senior citizens. This will be held in Davao City, and no less than our beloved President Rodrigo Roa Duterte will gracing the occasion. In the not so distant future, we will also be choosing, recognizing, and awarding 10 outstanding senior citizens in Visayas and Luzon and the National Capital Region. We also line up several activities of senior citizens all over the country to commemorate our Senior Citizen Week this October 17. Pinagbigyan po tayo ng ating pamahalaan simula kahapon ang senior citizen po dahil Senior Citizen Week ay libreng sakay para sa mga new senior citizen. MRT 3, October 1, 2, and 7. Line 1, October 8, Sunday. Line 2, October 2, 4:30 a.m., 10:30 p.m. mula Santulan hanggang Recto. According to the World Health Organization, all age can be considered as a disorder of self-regulation system in organizing and destroying process. When adapted, features of the organism are decreasing and the chance of death is increasing. Sa isang salita, malapit na silang humarap sa dakilang lumikha. Under this circumstance, parang isang abuloy na lang sa mga senior citizen namin ng inyong pagsang-ayon, Bill creating the National Senior Citizen Commission at iba pa naming mungkahi para sa kapakanan ng inyong mga nanay at tatay, ng inyong mga lolo at lola. Sa pangwakas, sinasaluduhan po namin ang magandang pamumuno ng ating Pangulo, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, na isa ring senior citizen. Sinasaluduhan po namin ang walang kapantay at magaling mamuno naming Speaker of the House, Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez. Sinasaluduhan din po namin ang lahat ng Deputy Speakers at gayon din ang magandala naming Majority Floor Leader, Congressman Rudy Pariñas, na mahal ng senior citizen. Tumayo po tayong lahat at bigyan ng masabagong palakpakan ang mga buhay na alamat ng 17th Congress. Alam ko po na apurbahan ang ating bill sapagkat ang principal author, si Congressman Pantaleon Alvarez, si Congressman Feliciano Belmonte, na ngayon ay may kaarawan. Marami pong salamat at pagpalain po tayong lahat ng poong may kapal.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Buhay Party List, the Honorable Representative Lito Atienza, for his interpellation.
Salamat po.
Honorable Representative Lito Atienza is recognized.
Madam Speaker, thank you. Majority Floor Leader, salamat po sa inyong pagkilala.
Congratulations, ang galing, ang galing.
At ang ating po naman pagiting na kinatawa ng ating mga elderly persons, golden ages, at senior citizens of our country. Congressman Datol, pagkat daman-daman natin ang kanyang damdamin na nananalaytay sa lahat sa atin. So with his kind permission, I'd like to clarify certain points that he raised so that we may all unite behind his noble intentions. Pwede po ba kayong matanong ng mga ilang pagpapaliwanag?
Sige po, Congressman ng Buhay.
Sapagkat alam kong nagkakaisa tayo sa damdamin at lahat ng ating mga miyembro ngayon ay isa rin ang damdamin sa pagtanaw ng utang na loob sa ating mga katatanda, sa ating lipunan. Not too long ago, hindi po ganyan ang pag-iisip ng Pilipino. Nahirapan po tayo na ipasa ang batas na kumikilala sa kanilang magandang kontribusyon sa ating bansa, sa lipunan, sa pamayanan, sa pagpapalaki ng kanilang pamilya at pagiging mahusay na Pilipino. But today, this is now a reality and we have a law that protects the rights of Filipino senior citizens. Not too long ago, nung sinisimula namin ang aming kilusang mahal ko si Lolo, mahal ko si Lola, pinagtatawanan po kami. Ang sabi nila, ito si Lito at yan sa batang-bata. 1976 po yun. Puro matatanda ang inaasikaso. Samantalang napakabata niya. Pinagtatawanan po inyong likod. Dahil inilalabang ko na sa batas, bigyan ng pagkilala ang mga lolo at lola. Alam po ninyo, ang magandang balitang isasabihin ko sa inyo, babahagi ko sa inyo, yung mga nagtatawa sa akin, yung mga nangungutya sa akin, lahat po sila hindi tumanda. Mumalaot na sila sa kabilang buhay. Ang inyong lingkod na sinabing tatanda ng maaga sapagkat matatanda raw ang aking inaasikaso, tingnan po ninyo, hanggang ngayon mukhang batang-bata pa. Yan ang leksyon sa buhay na natutunan ng inyong lingkod. Kaya binabati ko si Congressman Datol sa kanyang pakikipaglaban at pagtataguyod ng dagdag pang pagkilala sa ating mga lolo at lola. Hindi po tayo sa sobra. Tiyak, kulang at kulang ang ating maibibigay sapagkat kung talagang tutusin, kung wala sila, wala tayo. Kaya yung inyong panukala, idadagdagan ko lang ng kaunti, kung mamarapatin ninyo. Napag-usapan na natin to, pero kung tatanggapin nyo ngayon, ay magiging bahagi ng inyong pinaglalaban. Sa ngayon, ang ating mga senior citizen binibigyan ng 100,000 pag sumasapit na ng 100 taon. Ang problema po, bibihira po nakikinabang dyan sapagkat bibihira ang umaabot ng 100 taon. Kung mamarapatin nyo, ibaba natin ang edad na mabibigyan ng pabuya. Ibigay natin habang sila ay buhay pa. Sa aking pagsasaliksik, out of the 3,900 centenarians that we have, only about 2,000 are able to avail of the 100,000 bonus allotted for them. Why? Marami po sa kanila nakaratay na sa banig. Pag inabot kayo ng 100 taon, palagay ko, kung di rin lamang kayo parang si Congressman Bundok, aabot po ito ng 120. Palagay ko, pangkaraniwan 100 taon, nakahiga na. Papupuntahin pa sa munisipyo, hindi na po makakalakad. Ayaw namang ibigay sa mga kamag-anakan. Kaya kung mamarapatin ninyo, ibaba natin ang edad ng benepisyo. 90 anyos, 100,000 ang dapat ibigay sa kanila. Sapagkat ang gusto natin ay pakinabangan nila ang salaping ito. Marami sa kanila meron na pong diabetes, meron na pong high blood pressure, meron na pong mga sakit na dalahin. Gaya nga na sinabi nyo, kailangan natin ng mga ospital, pagamutan, libreng gamot. Yung bonus na yon, ibigay na rin natin sa kanila. Isabay na natin yung ating pinagtutulungang batas. Bigyan ng 50% sa pamasahe, sa aeroplano, ang mga senior citizen upang sila'y makapagbiyahe naman. Makita ang ganda ng ating kapuluhan. Yung po ba'y handa kayong tanggapin lahat ito at ating pagtutulungan sa harap ng ating mga kasamahan upang maging ganap ang ating pagkilala sa ating mga senior citizens, Philippine elderly, golden ages, mga Pilipinong naglingkod sa ating lipunan.
Handa po kami dyan. At napakaganda para sa senior citizen ng ating bansa.
Handa rin po ba kayo na ang ating magiting na speaker, tama rin po ang lagay ng puso niya. Ang puso niya nasa kaliwa Si Majority Floor Leader. Tama rin po kinalalagyan ng puso niya nasa kaliwa. At marami rin po mga kasama tayo rito. Ang puso nila ay nasa tamang lugar. Isama natin lahat. Co-sponsor nitong batas na ito upang sa lalong madaling panahon ay maaprubahan ang ating kapulungan. Papayag po ba kayo?
Payag po kami.
Okay. With that, Madam Speaker, the meaningful celebration of the Senior Citizens Week the Philippine Elderly Week of October 1 to 7, 2017 is made more meaningful. On this day, we are united in recognizing the fact that our lolo and our lola, yung ating pinagkakautangan ng ating buhay, pinagkakautangan natin ang ating kalagayan sa lipunan, pinagkakautangan natin ng pagtataguyod ng tamang pamamahala, ay bigyan natin ng wastong pagkilala. Ang hindi lumilingon sa kanyang pinanggalingan,
Hindi natatanda.
ang ayaw tumulong sa matanda, hindi na rin tatanda. Tayong lahat ang nating naisin ay tumanda, pagtanggol na natin ang kalagayan nila upang pag-abot natin ng 90 anyos, merong 100,000 ang bawat Pilipino. Maraming salamat sa inyo.
Salamat po.
Ginoong Datol, at sige nang magsaysay sa inyong representasyon sa ating mga lolo't lola na napakahalaga sa mga panahong ito. Congratulations! Mabuhay ang ating mga lolo at lola, mabuhay ang Pilipino. Salamat po.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we also join the Honorable Congressman Atienza in congratulating Congressman Datol for his privileged speech and for standing up for all the senior citizens. Madam Speaker, I also move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Congressman Datol to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action, as well as the interpellation.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, may I respectfully move that we recognize the guests of Senior Deputy Majority Leader Rimpi Bondoc of the 4th District of Pampanga, first is former Mayor Rene Maglanque, and the Barangay Capitanas of Candaba, Pampanga.
Please stand. Welcome to the House of Representatives.
Madam Speaker, may I be recognized?
Yes.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, we move that we Madam Speaker, what is the pleasure of the lady from the party list, Amin?
Madam Speaker, I rise on a matter of personal privilege.
Madam Speaker, we move to suspend the privilege R to give way to the Honorable Representative Siti Turabin Hataman.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, we move to recognize for her speech on a matter of personal privilege the Honorable Representative of the party list, Amin, the Honorable Siti Turabin Hataman. So move, Madam Speaker.
Congresswoman Honorable Hataman is recognized.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, esteemed colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuhu. Isang mapagpalayang hapon po sa ating lahat. My sincerest gratitude for this opportunity to once again and for the last time address this august chamber. And for all the opportunities these revered halls echoed the small voice from the islands and the seas of our homeland. Thank you, fellow members, Majority Floor Leader, Minority Floor Leader, and my fellow proud Mindanaoan Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez. This was no easy decision, and perhaps the craziest I've done so far. But those who know me and know my soul have long suspected I was longing to be back home. I have always been a community worker before I became part of government as Executive Director of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. In 2013, I was given the trust by Anak Mindanao to be its first nominee and eventually the honor of being Amin's representative in the 16th Congress and in the 17th Congress before today. I pray that in the 4 years I served Anak Mindanao as its voice in the House of Representatives, I have returned this honor. Apart from our second nominee and now Representative Mahmoud Mending Jr., it is also with strong conviction in her capacity and commitment that I entrust Anak Mindanao to our third nominee, Ms. Amihilda Sangkopan, a friend, a comrade, Anak Mindanao sa Congreso's Chief of Staff from the 12th to the 14th Congress. I leave them at the helm of our priority bills, which include the Bill Against Discrimination on Account of Ethnicity and Religious Belief, the Islamic Banking Bill, the Bill for the Establishment of the Institute of Sulu and Mindanao Traditional Arts, and the National Hijab Day, which was just passed by the Committee on Muslim Affairs. Being a member of the House of Representatives is indeed a great honor, to be the people's voice, to be their representative, to decide and cast a vote for and in their behalf on policies and laws that affect our lives from conception to death. To run this government and determine the country's future, to build the foundations upon which this nation's tomorrow shall stand, and create a path unto which the children of this nation, our own children, shall take their journey. The very thought of this great responsibility overwhelms me. It scares me. As a struggling Muslim, I fear being made accountable in the next life of the trust given to me by the people, when I cannot even begin to imagine how I shall account for my own weaknesses. But with the guidance and hard work of all Anak Mindanao members and partners, from our Amin sa Kongreso staff to our Amin volunteers in the communities, to those who continue to believe in us, who kept reminding us of the more than 700,000 who voted and therefore trusted us, this representation held on. Being a member of the House of Representatives is no comfortable task. Not when you have your own persuasions too, which do not always align with the people you claim to represent. Not when you know the complexities of government bureaucracy that are impossible to reform overnight, and you also know how greatly they contribute to the worst realities of our people on the ground. Not when you pour your soul out to champion a cause you believe in, but you are judged by what they perceive to be your political agenda. But despite all this, I do not regret a single moment I was Anak Mindanao's representative. I shall hold it one of my greatest blessings, perhaps a destiny I was meant to fulfill. The knowledge, wisdom, and competencies I gained as a member of this House, the brilliance and commitment of fellow legislators, unfortunately seldom seen by the public, as the most productive hard work happened in committee meetings which, unless controversial, do not make it to the headlines. The doors of opportunities it opened not just for myself, but for every deserving individual and cause. The people I met and whose friendships I shall value my whole life, all these I will carry with me beyond the walls of Congress. All these I shall bring with me when I go back to my people, not as their representative, but as one of them. Some of those who knew my decision said I can always go back. We are only required to be here on specific days. But going back does not only mean being with them physically. It only means, for me, being heard when I speak, not as a person of influence or power, but as me. It also means being spoken to without the barrier of a title or a position, just me. Our sad reality today is that many can no longer see beyond titles and positions. May we realize that these are not goals, but are mere platforms and opportunities, ways on how to fulfill a greater calling in life, and for me as a Muslim, as a path to gain a better life in the hereafter, inshallah. Whatever title or position or status we have, when it no longer serves that purpose, becomes meaningless. There is no higher office or lower rank. What matters is where and how you can serve best. And this is a reminder foremost to myself. This realization became strongly evident when Marawi happened. I am not from the city, but the impact of what happened brought me to so many questions and self-reflections. Thoughts of where I am and where I am most needed and probably most effective. Although there are many factors coming together that led to the incident, it is a known fact that our people's, particularly our youth's frustrations over the seeming loss of our struggles, the imminent failure to realize our aspirations, became a vulnerable sentiment used by these groups to their advantage. As member of this House in the 16th Congress, I, along with some fellow Moro legislators, did not fail in saying this. When Marawi happened, especially when I heard how young some of the members of these groups were, 10, 12, 15, the ages of our own children, I can only ask myself, where did we fail? When and how did we lose them? Had I remained in the communities as one of them and spoke to them of peace, perhaps I could have convinced a child or two that it is possible. We often speak of winning hearts and minds. The fight is no longer anywhere but in our very communities and our very homes. The hearts and minds we so desperately need to win over are not anyone else's, but the hearts and minds of our very own children. But as I go back, I make this last plea to all of you, honorable members of this august chamber. There is another opportunity for you. I am grateful to Deputy Speaker Bai Sandra Sema, Majority Floor Leader Fariñas, and Speaker Alvarez for allowing me to co-author the Bangsamoro Basic Law drafted by the Bangsamoro Transition Commission, my last act as member of the House of Representatives. I leave appealing to your compassion and discernment, with hope in our leaders and faith in the President to make true his vow to pass the BBL. I appeal to you. We may be a little too late, as we all know now, but please let us not miss this opportunity, probably the last, to win back our people. As I go back, may this be a gift I can offer them from you, not a gift as a token of benevolence, but a gift that we truly deserve. A gift not just from the House of Representatives, not just from this administration, but from the Filipino people. To all those who believed and journeyed with me, who lent their voices so I may speak in their behalf, know that I have given my all to be a worthy echo of your beautiful voices. I live not to be silent, but just as I spoke all these years to magnify your own, I pray that you welcome me back and allow my voice to be one with yours where it has always belonged. And lastly, in these most challenging times we face as a nation, and as a former member of this honored house, I pray for our strength and guidance, for lights in our hearts, as individual members and as an institution that is a pillar of our democracy, a sail that sets the course of our country's voyage. May we find the courage to overcome that which rifts us apart, and the compassion to rise above whatever barrier has been built among us, including those we ourselves built. For while it is the very nature of this institution in the performance of her mandate to always divide the House, it is our greater accountability to keep this nation and the people whole. Maraming salamat po. Wassalamu alaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize Congressman Kaka Bagao of the Dinagat Islands, Lone District of Dinagat Islands, for her interpellation. So move, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you.
Honorable Kakabagao is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But I would just like to make a short manifestation. Madam Speaker, nice ko lang pong bigay ng pugay sa ating kasama, si Anak Mindanao Party List Representative Siti Jalia Turabin Hataman. Nalulungkot po ako na hindi na natin siya makakasama rito sa Kongreso. Naging kasama po natin siya sa napakaraming laban para sa isang mas makatarungang lipunan. Mula sa pagtutulak na maipasa ang Bangsamoro Basic Law, hanggang sa paglaban sa diskriminasyong naranasan ng mga Pilipino, Moro man o LGBT, isa siya sa mga hinahangaan nating mambabatas. Isa pang malaking kawalan sa 17th Congress ang kanyang paglisan. Pero tiyakong makakasama pa natin siya sa iba't ibang kampanya para sa katarungan, kapayapaan at demokrasya. Kaya Kong Dada, maraming salamat sa iyo. Bilang kapwa taga-isla, bilang kapwa Mindanaon, bilang kapwa kasapi ng kaya natin, bilang kapwa peace advocate, human rights defender, at equality champ, makakaasa kang kasama mo pa rin ako sa pagpapanday ng mas maganda at makatarungang bukas para sa ating bayan. Mabuhay ka, Anak Mindanao Party List Representative Siti Jalia Turabin Hataman.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Siti Turafin Hataman to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action. So move, Madam
Is there
Speaker.
any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we resume the privilege hour.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I now move that the gentleman from the 1st District of Lanao del Norte, Representative Muhammad Khalid Dimaporo, be recognized to avail of the privilege hour. So move, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Representative Muhammad Khalid Dimaporo is recognized.
Auzu billahi minasyaitanirrajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Speaker, colleagues, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. First, let me acknowledge the House leadership for filing House Bill 6475, the BTC version of the Bangsamoro Basic Law. The passage of that legislation will give the Moros their ancestral domain and their right to self-determination. At the same time, let me remind the body that the word Moro was used to unite the Muslim tribes in an armed struggle against the Philippine government. Not all of us believe in the Moro movement. I, for one, am proudly Filipino, and the legislation passed in Congress on my behalf was the creation of the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. My speech today is about the NCMF and how it is failing as an institution. First, I'd like to address its budget. Second, I'd like to revisit the NCMF law. Third, I'd like to discuss corruption in the Commission as regards the Hajj passport scandal. Lastly, I'd like to touch on the Hajj pilgrimage program of the Commission. To begin with, in the plenary deliberations of the 2018 budget, 3 commissions were moved to be given a 1,000 peso budget: the Energy Regulatory Commission, the National Commission of Indigenous People, and the Commission on Human Rights. Unknown to the public is that another commission was almost subjected with a 1,000 peso budget, the National Commission of Muslim Filipinos. This was mainly due to the unsatisfactory presentation and explanation of their 2018 budget during the NCMF budget briefing and pre-plenary under the Committee of Appropriations. The committee chairman and all members of Congress present were disappointed that the NCMF secretary and all the commissioners were absent. The presentation of NCMF on their 2018 budget lacked substance. The only clear-cut financial explanation given to the House of Representatives is that DBM increased their budget to 612,962,000 pesos, and that they prioritized ICT projects for 2018 worth a total of 15,431,000 pesos, and that 80% of their total budget is for salary. No substantial explanation was given as to how more than 600 million worth of taxpayer money will go to the benefit of Muslim Filipinos. No data was provided as to what output will be delivered from the use of public funds. I was hoping for a more detailed presentation of government services delivered for the payment of their salaries. As I previously mentioned, the initial reaction was to give a 1,000 peso budget as retaliation for the absence of NCMF officials during the budget briefing and the plenary. The 2018 NCMF budget passed unquestioned and was approved even with the absence of its officials. The approval of the 2018 NCMF budget was in retrospect an act of kindness. Those of us present in the committee were not satisfied with the answers regarding their budget for salary. Specifically, the agency's inability to fill vacant positions, especially since it is converted to savings in the agency, and we don't know how the savings are spent. To address this, I have filed the following resolution. A resolution directing the Commission on Audit to provide the Committee on Muslim Affairs a report on the utilization of savings in the National Commission of Muslim Filipinos for the year 2011 to 2016. Before I continue, let me refer to the law creating the NCMF. The National Commission on Muslim Filipinos was created by virtue of Republic Act 9997 on July 27, 2009. The Act abolished the Office of Muslim Affairs and replaced it with a commission headed by an NCMF secretary. There are 9 commissioners in total. Among the commissioners, 1 is from the women's sector, 1 is from the youth, 1 is from the ulama sector. The remaining number of commissioners are chosen to represent the different Muslim tribes of the Philippines, provided that not more than 2 commissioners come from the same tribe at any given time. Republic Act 9997 provides the NCMF with 29 powers and functions. Its primary function is to act as a link between the President and Muslim communities. Its secondary responsibilities would be the development of Muslim settlements and act as the primary agency in which Muslim Filipinos can seek government assistance. It also functions as a coordinating body to give government agencies on behalf of Muslim Filipinos. This includes the peace process, the development of trade and industry, planning, budgeting, and performance evaluation of government programs that benefit Muslim Filipinos. They are also mandated to establish Islamic research centers, museums, and cultural institutions. They are the frontline agency of the government to facilitate the Hajj, Awqaf or endowment, and the Madrasa education system. The NCMF law also provides the Commission with 7 bureaus to attain its objectives. The Bureau of Muslim Economic Affairs. This bureau focuses on the economic development and livelihood for Muslim Filipinos. Bureau for Muslim Cultural Affairs. This bureau is in charge of research, studies of cultural development of Muslim Filipinos. It is also responsible for the madrasa and also the conduct of a Quran reading contest. Bureau of Muslim Settlement. This bureau is responsible for the development of Muslim settlements. Bureau of External Relations. This bureau is both the public relations arm and the public information arm of the NCMF. Bureau of Pilgrimage and Endowment. This bureau is in charge of the administration of Hajj, the processing of travel documents, collection of fees such as the Mutawif fees and other requirements stipulated by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. This bureau is also in charge for the administration of Awqaf, endowment programs and projects. Bureau of Peace and Conflict Resolution. This bureau is tasked to settle conflict in Muslim communities and participate in the national peace process. Bureau of Legal Affairs. It is the bureau tasked to provide legal assistance to members of Muslim Filipinos. It is also the legal arm of the NCMF. Congress has legislated a good law for the benefit of Muslim Filipinos, in which I would like to place on record my disappointment in the unprofessionalism of the NCMF leadership. They have been absent when called upon by the Committee on Muslim Affairs and were absent when called upon to defend their 2018 budget. Ideally, we should be working together for the benefit of Muslim Filipinos scattered throughout our republic. How can we work together if NCMF cannot treat their partners here in the House of Representatives with respect? When I was governor, the impression that I had of NCMF is that they are mere facilitators of Hajj pilgrimage. The only time we in the LGU see them active is when Hajj season begins. Now, as congressman, I've seen the depth of their powers as a commission. Their power to develop domestic trade and provide livelihood for Muslim Filipinos. The power to provide scholarships domestically and internationally for Muslim Filipinos. The power to establish cultural museums. The responsibility over the madrasa educational system. All of which could have been for the benefit of my province, Lanao del Norte, and other Muslim Filipino settlements outside of the ARMM. So now, I'd like to address this question. What have they accomplished in their mandate outside the Hajj pilgrimage program and Quran reading contests? To answer that question, I have filed the following resolution. A resolution directing the appropriate committee in aid of legislation to assess the budget provided to the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos and its 7 bureaus for the years 2010 to 2017 in comparison to their performance for the benefit of Muslim Filipinos. It has been almost 10 years since the creation of NCMF. It is timely that we re-evaluate the Commission to determine if it has accomplished anything significant for Muslim Filipinos, and if there is a need to amend and update Republic Act 9997 so that the Commission will be more effective in its mandate for the Filipino people. Next, the current problem of NCMF is that it has been recently rocked with scandal. Last year, 177 Hajj pilgrims from Indonesia were arrested on August 18, 2016. Indonesian pilgrims were able to attain Hajj passports from the Department of Foreign Affairs in coordination with the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. The Indonesians paid anywhere between 270,000 pesos to 460,000 pesos to obtain a Hajj passport from the Philippines and join the Philippine Hajj delegation. The National Bureau of Investigation unearthed the conspiracy behind the detention of 177 Indonesians. The NBI's Anti-Human Trafficking Division surmised that the Hajj passport scam included members of NCMF, the AFA, and civilian recruiters. The latest news release states that NCMF Secretary Yasmin Busran Lau and 9 other members of the NCMF are facing charges for violation of the Philippines Immigration Act of 1940, Philippine Passport Act, Anti-Trafficking in Persons Act, and Estafa. Now, the NCMF needs to rebuild its image. They have lost the faith and trust of Muslim Filipinos, being the lead conspirators in the 2016 Hajj passport scandal. We, in the House of Representatives, can help by providing the needed legislation to prevent this abuse from happening again. Therefore, I filed the following resolution. A resolution requesting the Department of Justice, the Department of Foreign Affairs, and the NCMF to provide a detailed briefing regarding their findings in the 2016 Hajj passport scandal in aid of legislation. Finally, last month, September, the Hajj pilgrims of the Philippines returned home. The Hajj pilgrimage is religious tourism. It starts with a departure from Manila to Saudi Arabia and begins in Mecca, where pilgrims visit and pray in the Kaaba. From Mecca, they travel to Mina. The pilgrims spend the day in Mina praying and staying in tents. After Mina, they travel to Arafat, where they seek the mercy from God and ask for forgiveness of their sins. This ritual lasts from noon to sunset, after which they travel to Musdalifah and spend the night praying, then sleeping under open skies. They return to Mina and perform the symbolic stoning of the devil. Then Eid al-Adha is celebrated with slaughtering of animals to commemorate the story of Abraham and Ishmael. The pilgrims return to Mecca to do a farewell prayer in the sacred mosque that ends their pilgrimage, and they return home to Manila. A pilgrim embarks on a journey for religious purposes. After the completion of the Hajj, pilgrims generally don't complain of their travel. However, the sheikhs do. Sheikhs act as guides for our pilgrims, and I have heard complaints from them over the years in regards to food, lodging, and transportation. To place it in perspective, let me share some data. On the year 2015, the Philippines had 8,193 pilgrims who embarked on the Hajj. In 2015, the NCMF collected $2,020 per pilgrim to cover entrance fees, food in Arafat and Mina, hotel housing in Mecca and Mina, insurance for the year 2015. With 8,193 pilgrims at $2,020 per pilgrim, the NCMF Mutawif Trust Fund totals $16,549,860. I repeat, $16,549,860. If we assume an exchange rate of 45 pesos to a dollar, that's equal to 744,745,700 pesos. I repeat again, 744,745,700 pesos, an amount larger than the total NCMF 2018 budget. The sheikhs complain because they question if the pilgrims are getting their money's worth. Rumors circulate that unscrupulous members of the NCMF are making money out of the Hajj Trust Fund. I addressed this problem in the NCMF budget briefing under the Committee of Appropriations. The reply of NCMF was that the inadequate lodging, food, and transportation was due to supply and demand. This year, more than 2 million pilgrims worldwide attended the Hajj. Unfortunately for the NCMF, they book food, accommodations, and transportation at the last minute after they've collected the Mutawif fee from the pilgrims. This is in comparison to other Muslim countries who negotiate service contracts good for 10 to 15 years. The NCMF solution is a program to establish a revolving fund to cover the 20% down payment required for the Hajj pilgrimage. The amount needed is 137,620,000 pesos that was submitted to DBM for funding. On behalf of the NCMF, the Sheikhs, and our future Hajj pilgrims, I appeal to Malacanang that the NCMF, DFA, DOF, DBM, and COA convene a technical working group to provide a solution that will ensure our pilgrims with satisfactory service when they embark on a Hajj pilgrimage. Likewise, I have filed the following resolution. A resolution for the DFA, DOF, DBM, and COA to submit their opinion regarding the NCMF Hajj Revolving Fund proposal to the Committee on Muslim Affairs, so that we, as legislators, can help address the needs of our Hajj pilgrims. In closing, as I've stated in the beginning, when the Spanish colonized the Philippines, they found Muslim tribes in the archipelago. They referred to them as Moros, similar to the Muslims they've encountered in Spain, the Moors. Centuries later, the struggle for independence continued through armed struggle by the Moro National Liberation Front, then the Moro Islamic Liberation Front. Now the government will act on legislation to address their needs, the Bangsamoro Basic Law. But for those of us who are already content with the government and have joined mainstream Filipino society, Congress has legislated the National Commission on Muslim Filipinos. My privileged speech today is an appeal to our leaders that we strengthen the NCMF as an institution to live up to its essence, that is to give dignity and representation to productive members of mainstream society, your brothers and sisters in Islam, the Muslim Filipinos. Thank you for the privilege to speak, Madam Speaker. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that to refer the speech of the Honorable Muhammad Khalid Dimaporo to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is carried.
Madam Speaker, I respectfully move that we recognize the Honorable Representative Tom S. Villarin of the Akbayan Party List to avail of the privilege hour. So move, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Representative Tom S. Villarin of Party List Akbayan is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader. Madam Speaker, my dear colleagues, ever since any of us here were elected into office, we have already been acquainted, at the very least, with our country's biggest enemy. All Filipinos know it. Most of us have felt it, while about a fifth of our population today continue to struggle with it every single day of their lives. Indubitably, the greatest enemy of the Filipino people is poverty, kahirapan. For policymakers, poverty is a problem that demands solutions. But for more than 21 million Filipinos, it is a reality. The reality, and perhaps the only one they will ever experience if we do not put an end to it. As an enemy, Madam Speaker, poverty can be very sophisticated. It can hide behind stellar growth numbers, behind grandiose infrastructure development projects, and even behind the smiles of people who had neither choice nor capability but to acquiesce to the rule of poverty. And once it strikes, it can deal lethal and long-lasting blows to unsuspecting lives for generations, though no fault of their own. As a problem, Madam Speaker, poverty is complex. It is imbued in our social, political, and economic systems, with roots grown so deep that we are challenged to rethink the fundamentals of our current state of affairs. Madam Speaker, there are disturbing trends in income, wealth, and health inequalities. Decreases in income and decline in the standards of living are often accompanied by social problems, malnutrition, drug abuse, and deterioration of family life as our social fabric. All this takes a toll on the overall health and life expectancy of our people. In the end, inequality can reach the point when it can be inefficient and bad for growth. Madam Speaker, as a reality, poverty can be changed. It does not have to be the only reality for many of our fellow Filipinos. And this is precisely the role of government, to change this reality. This is the change that all Filipinos want. This is the change that the poor and marginalized need. And it is incumbent upon us, as their duly elected representatives to this august chamber, to call on the executive to task for making this promise of change happen. Then again, Madam Speaker, the challenge to change the reality of poverty transcends all administration. For the longest time, our country has been plagued with low spending in social protection, weak poverty targeting systems, and a lack of policy coherence and coordination, all of which indicate massive underinvestment in human capital, health, and education. And this is unfortunately reflective of the budget that we just passed. The effects of poverty were very evident in the mid-2000s, when the Philippine economy grew at a relatively fast pace, but poverty remained high and even increased in some point. So the imperative to this challenge, Madam Speaker, is very clear. We have to reinforce the social protection system. This is what propelled the Department of Social Welfare and Development to pilot and expand conditional cash transfer programs. From a meager 6,000 families in 2007, the program was eventually able to help 4.46 million families at the end of 2014. All these efforts, Madam Speaker, spanned for more than 7 years. 2 administrations, which in improving poverty targeting, monitoring and evaluation, securing social protection, financing by gradually increasing the program's budget more than 5 times bigger since it was started in 2010. Clearly, Madam Speaker, it is a considerable breakthrough. Never before has the Philippine government spent so much to directly assist the poorest of the poor at such scale. With a maximum grant of 2,000 per month for complying with health conditions and sending up to 3 children to school, and an incentive mechanism was put in place in order to help the poorest of the poor help themselves. And true enough, rigorous impact evaluations, one conducted by the Asian Development Bank as early as 2012 and 2014, confirmed that the conditional cash transfer program improves access to health services, keeps children in school, reduces child labor, and does not encourage dependency. Madam Speaker, sa wikang Pilipino, naging mas madali para sa mga pamilyang Pilipino magpagamot at magpapaaral nabawasan ang mga kaso ng mga menor de edad na nagtatrabaho kahit hindi sila dapat magtrabaho, at hindi nito hinihimo ang mahirap nating mga kababayan na mamimihasa at umaasa lamang sa pamahalaan. Marahil po, Madam Speaker, para sa marami sa atin dito, parang maliit na halaga ang 2,000 kada buwan. Subalit po, para sa mga mahihirap nating kababayan, ito ang nagtatakda ng pagkakaiba ng paghihikahos at pagdaos ng kanilang pang-araw-araw na pangangailangan. Of course, Madam Speaker, dear colleagues, there is always room for improvement. Certain adjustments to the program must be made in order to effectively strengthen our country's social protection program. Firstly, Madam Speaker, and moving forward, regular adjustments must be made to benefit levels to account for inflation. Secondly, Madam Speaker, access to and availability of facilities such as schools and health facilities at the community level must meet the growing demand for basic services that the program necessarily creates. Thirdly, coordination among implementers and co-implementers must be tightened to ensure that family development sessions, a core element unique to the Philippines CCT program, are well attended, making for a holistic approach to the reality of poverty as experienced by our kababayans. And finally, nurturing an open environment for the conditional cash transfer program as a viable social protection measure, and to future innovations that have the huge potential to address the immediate needs of the poor Filipino families. Madam Speaker, as a closing note, poverty, again, as I've mentioned, is a sophisticated enemy. But it can be defeated by first protecting the poor precisely through social protection. Of course, the bigger challenges of structural reforms must also come into play. Poverty, as a complex problem, can be solved by encouraging bold solutions with clear short-term and long-term indicators. And poverty as a reality can be changed by changing the way we look at social protection, starting with existing measures that evidently work, a claim that Filipino families themselves, now as seen in our gallery here of CCT beneficiaries, can attest to. And with that, Madam Speaker, this representation appeals that Congress should again do its refocusing on really improving the social protection system that our Filipino families, especially under the CCT program, badly needs. Thank you, and magandang gabi po, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable...
Mr. Speaker. Madam Speaker.
Madam
What is
Speaker,
the
I move to
pleasure?
recognize the gentleman from Albay, Congressman Lagman.
Congressman Edsel Lagman is recognized.
Will the distinguished gentleman yield to some questions?
With great honor and privilege, Madam Speaker, I will yield to Congressman Lagman for an interpellation.
May we know, Madam Speaker, distinguished gentleman, what are the components of social protection?
Madam Speaker, the components include this cash transfer, direct cash transfer to families, to poor families identified under the National Household Targeting System. Another component would be the conditions for this cash transfer that would include regular checkups, no, for nursing mothers who are members, who are identified beneficiaries under the NHTS. And another condition would be for the children of CCT beneficiaries to go to school, no? Not just now on the secondary level, but perhaps a condition that would eventually have to reach going to school under the free tertiary education law that we have just passed, Madam Speaker.
And how about an improved health delivery system? Is this a component of social protection?
It should include that component, Madam Speaker, especially providing our community-based, our barangay-based health facilities, which until now is still challenged because from the latest accounts of DOH, there are only, I think, 19,000 out of the possible 34 or 36,000 supposedly barangay health centers that should be constructed. But again, as I've said, Madam Speaker, the CCT beneficiaries are required to report to the nearest health centers, especially the mothers, no, for their regular checkup, and that would include maternal health care and should include reproductive health care, Madam Speaker.
Well, thank you for those answers, distinguished gentleman. But I think the latest data is that there are so many or numerous barangays which do not have health centers. So much so, if the poor is required to go to health centers and there are no health centers to attend to them, then that would be a failure. Would that be correct?
I agree with the observation of Congressman Edsel Lagman because, as I've mentioned earlier, the lack of health facilities and equipments, especially at the community barangay level, hinders this one significant condition of the cash transfer program. So it is really urgent and important that the focus on health should be made a priority in terms of really re-engineering the design of the CCT. So it should be included in the package of really improving the health delivery systems at the community level, Madam Speaker.
May we also know from the distinguished gentleman, what are the major causes of poverty?
What are
the major causes of poverty?
Well, poverty has a multifaceted reasons, no? Why there is poverty, and it would range from the issue of lack of access to productive assets in the communities, like land, like access to our coastal resources, like access to our natural resources by the poorest of the poor. Second would be the issue of lack of opportunities in terms of gainful employment, especially at the countryside where livelihoods are lacking and that the opportunities for having productive labor and earning decent wages are also lacking. And in the urban areas, again, we faced a situation wherein there are lack of decent settlement for our workers, especially those doing menial labor, and lack of of course, regular employment in terms of having tenurial security, and in general, there is lack of jobs, regular and sustainable jobs for many of those entering the workforce, Madam Speaker. But there are also structural problems of poverty, which in my humble opinion, Madam Speaker, is also rooted to certain economic policies, the neoliberal economic policies that favor the few and the elite over the demands of the vast majority of our people. So again, Madam Speaker, it's the problems are huge, and the reasons for the poverty can also be both a historical and also structural in nature, Madam Speaker. Good, Your Honor.
Well, thank you, distinguished gentlemen. But can we include the problem on population as a major cause of poverty? Although the population growth rate has decelerated due to the enactment of the reproductive health law, despite its implementation being hampered by a number of causes, the population growth rate is still high, relatively high, compared to progressive countries in Asia as well as in the rest of the world. Would you account this relatively high population growth rate as a cause or a major cause of poverty?
Well, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, I would also subscribe to that analysis that population, in terms of the present situation where there's these existing problems on access and lack of resources available to the vast majority of our Filipino people, then population growth exerts pressure on the existing resources that we have. And when population growth registers as an increase over a significant period, it would also provide challenges to the government in terms of not just development planning, but of course allocating the necessary budget for this growing population. Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
And this problem of a relatively high population growth rate is compounded by a low contraceptive prevalence rate. Also, a high teenage pregnancy, the highest in this part of the world, and also a high maternal morbidity. Would you agree to these factors, distinguished?
Yes, Madam Speaker, Your Honor. In fact, these are the key indicators wherein when we do planning, development interventions, we look at MMR. Even the issue of infant mortality rate has also been a constant and consistent problem that we're still encountering despite the relatively high economic growth that we are supposedly registering. So the big challenge really is looking at poverty from these very important social indicators. And again, as I've mentioned earlier, it would redound to the family as the basic unit, to the community, and of course to the political units that govern these communities and families, and what would be the responsibilities that they have to shoulder in terms of addressing these concerns. Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Would the distinguished gentleman agree that another major cause of poverty would be poor human capacity development?
Yes, Madam Speaker, as I've mentioned, the challenge includes addressing human capacity development. And in fact, one of the component elements of the conditional cash transfer would be through the family development sessions that should address human capacity development. Because here, when we want to address poverty, it's not just the economic side, but also on the attitude, the mindset, and the perspectives of the poor that we want to help, not just because we're giving it as a dole out, but this intervention of the conditional cash transfer with the FDS as a component for improving their human capacities in terms of really looking at poverty from their own lens, from their own experience, and of helping themselves out of poverty. So I think that's really crucial, human capacity development, because the poor can be empowered, and the empowerment of the poor would be the greatest contribution in terms of addressing poverty, Your Honor, Madam Speaker.
Another factor would be the prevalence of health disabilities, so much so that those in the labor sector are unable to avail or engage in viable work activities because of health disabilities.
That is also true, Madam Speaker, Your Honor. And in fact, even our social protection measures for our workers, especially their pension and retirement plans, no? If we look at even the workers covered under Social Security, of the 12 million members of the SSS, only perhaps around 2 million enjoy regular jobs, regular wages, and the rest of the SSS members, the more than 10 million, are seasonal workers and only contributes to the fund on a seasonal basis. And in fact, some have just contributed 3 months or a month of their contribution to the pension fund. So these issues related to social protection, related to access to health services under the program of on our Medicare program is really very limited and cannot be availed of by thousands of our workers, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Okay. Well, the latest figure which I have on the poverty incidence as of 2015 is 21.6%. Would the distinguished gentleman have any later figure?
Well, that's the latest available statistics, Your Honor, Madam Speaker. Although there are supposedly changes in those statistics from a previous high of 26%. But again, this 21.6% does not truly reflect what's the reality on the ground, because the indicators in terms of capturing poverty incidence would just look primarily on the socioeconomic profile of the respondents. But again, as I've said, poverty is a multifaceted problem. Its face and its mask can be deceiving in terms of what we see. So I do believe that 21.6% is not just the figure. It could be higher, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Well, thank you, Madam Speaker. To my last point, on the latest self-rated poverty. The SWS March 25 to 28 poll showed 50% of 1,200 respondents, or an estimated 5 million families rating themselves poor. This is 6 points above the 44% or an estimated 10 million recorded in December 2016. Now, what would this figure indicate, Madam Speaker, Mr. Distinguished gentleman?
Well, thank you for that figures, Your Honor, Madam Speaker. I think this self-rated poverty is, in a way, it's a direct and clear indicator of how people perceive reality on the ground. Self-rated poverty directly asks the question that really matters to a particular individual in terms of his or her existing condition. And I think 11.5 million Filipinos out of the 103 million Filipinos rating themselves as poor or lacking the essentials needed to eke out a living or even have food on their tables is still a very significant and high number. And this 11.5 million perhaps is not just the total number, because again, this self-rated poverty captures that moment, only a moment of a person's existence, but these numbers could change. And I do believe, Madam Speaker, that these numbers again could go higher.
Oh, well, this figure is nationwide. Do you have any idea what is the figure, say, in Mindanao? Would it be higher than the nationwide average?
Well, I don't have the exact figures, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, but in Mindanao, Lanao del Sur, where Marawi is located, has now the highest, in terms of poverty incidence, going as high as 73%, Madam Speaker. And in terms of the poorest provinces in our country, 11 out of the 20 poorest provinces are in Mindanao, which has around 28 provinces. So when we say 11 out of the 28 provinces in Mindanao are rated within the 20 top poorest provinces of our country, that speaks a lot. That again, the face of poverty is in Mindanao, where conflict and poverty coexist for decades and decades. Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Well, thank you again, distinguished gentlemen. Under the train, this is the tax reform package phase 1. There is a provision in the House version on social protection. And we will have to await the final form of the train in the Senate so that we will be able to assess what social protection is included in the Senate version.
Well, my interpretation of social protection, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, this is not just about safety nets. When we talk about social protection, this is more about helping those in the marginalized sectors, helping the poor come out of poverty through a complex and comprehensive approach, and not just treat this as a one-time measure wherein you give dole-outs or you give token amounts of money, like increasing the fuel taxes, and a certain percentage of that fuel tax you give as subsidies to the lowly jeepney drivers and other those that would be significantly affected by the taxes on fuel. So I think we really have to look deeper into what we think about social protection, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
In the House version, there is what is known as the unconditional cash transfer, which is a component of the train. And this is good for 4 years from the effectivity of the new excise taxes. But I was just wondering, Madam Speaker, distinguished gentlemen, why do you have to burden the poor with increase in excise taxes, like in LPG, kerosene, and other goods being available by the poor, and then give them this unconditional cash transfer, the implementation of which could be a bureaucratic nightmare?
I do believe, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, that again, your observation that this is a burden to the poor is reflective of that policy wherein you take away from the left hand and give it back through the right hand of the poor. So it's just like saying that the poor is being mesmerized to believe that his or her contribution in terms of improving the fiscal position of government is helping the entire country, but in reality, it is the poor that will be heavily burdened, not just because they will be at the losing end of this fiscal measure, but because it will impact on their daily lives as poor and much more in the lives of their families and the communities that they are located, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Would you agree, distinguished gentlemen, that the administration is not consistent with its policies to address, to alleviate, or solve the poverty problem? Because there are certain policies which demonizes the poor, like the increase in the excise taxes, which would affect seriously the majority of our people who are disadvantaged and marginalized.
I would agree to that, again, to that observation, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, because even now that the Senate is deliberating and has approved this train measure, there's still really no comprehensive study in terms of the lasting effect of this tax. While it will contribute a significant revenue, supposedly around 500 billion to the national coffers, but again, the danger of raising revenues, the danger would be on the spending side. If there is lack of spending for social protection, lack of spending for healthcare delivery, and lack of spending for improving employment opportunities, especially at the rural or countryside, Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, Your Honor, that would again entail burdening the poor more with these fiscal policies.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, distinguished gentlemen, for accommodating my questions.
Thank you, Congressman Lagman. It's always an honor to be interpellated by the distinguished gentleman from Albay. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of Honorable Villarin and the interpellation to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Any objection? There being none, the speech of the Honorable Villarin is referred to the Committee on Rules. Majority Floor Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I now move that the lady from ACT Teachers Party List, the Honorable Franz Castro, be recognized to avail of the privilege hour.
The distinguished lady from ACT Teachers, the Honorable Franz Castro, is recognized.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker at mga kapwa ko kinatawan, magandang hapon. Ang darating na Huwebes, Oktubre 5 ay National Teachers Day. Para sa sektor na aking pinanggalingan at pinagsisilbihan, higit sa araw ng pagdiriwang, ito ay araw ng paniningil at protesta. Minamarkahan ang October 5 dahil sa ito ay araw ng adoption o paglagda sa recommendation concerning the status of teachers noong 1966 ng International Labor Organization at ng United Nations Education, Scientific and Cultural Organization o ILO UNESCO. Ito ay makasaysayang dokumento dahil nilalaman nito ang mga internasyonal na pamantayan para sa nakabubuhay na sahod at benepisyo sa mga guro, makataong kondisyon sa empleyo, trabaho at pagtuturo, partisipasyon ng mga guro sa formulasyon at implementasyon ng mga polisiya at batas na may epekto sa kanila at sa kanilang propesyon at iba pa. Nakasaad din dito ang mga rekomendasyon upang kilalanin, igalang at proteksyonan ng mga gobyerno ang mga karapatan ng mga nasa propesyon sa publiko o pribado mang sektor. Lahat ng ito ay bahagi ng karapatan ng mamamayan sa edukasyon na siyang dapat protektahan ng pamahalaan. Sa ganitong konteksto, nakalatag ang aming komemorasyon ng National Teachers Day. Para sa amin, walang saysay ang anumang pagbati kung walang makatotohanang pagkilala ang pamahalaan sa esensya at direksyon ng 1966 recommendations. At bilang isang guro na nagsilbi ng halos 30 taon, ako po ay taus-pusong naninindigan kasama ang mga guro upang ipaglaban ang esensyang ito. Madam Speaker, noong nakaraang taon, kasama ang mga guro sa mga naniniwala sa mga pangako ni Pangulong Duterte at kanyang bagong administrasyon na itataas niya ang sweldo hindi lamang sa mga pulis at sundalo, pati na rin ang sahod ng mga teachers. Nawawakasan niya ang endo at kontraktualisasyon. Na ibababa niya ang income tax at maglalatag ng progresibong mga sistema ng pagbuwis na kabilang sa mga prioridad niya ang edukasyon, kalusugan at iba pang mga batayang serbisyo para sa mga mamamayan at iba pa. Ngunit ngayon, pagkalipas ng higit 1 taon, kasama rin ang mga guro sa mga binigo ng Pangulo sa pagbali niya sa mga pangakong ito. Nananatiling drawing ang pangakong salary increase at sa halip ay pinagpapatuloy lamang ang barya-baryang aumento sa ilalim ng Salary Standardization Law 4 ng Administrasyong Aquino. Nagpapatuloy ang kontraktualisasyon at sa halip ay palalalain at ma-institutionalize pa sa pribado at pampublikong sektor sa ilalim ng mga pinalabas na mga circular ng Department Order ng DBM, DepEd, CSC, DILG at DOLE. Walang dagdag na benepisyo. Sa halip ay binabawasan pa nga ang mga inaasahang local allowances ng mga guro at babawasan pa ang performance-based bonus ng lahat ng mga kawani ng pamahalaan. Mataas pa rin ang income tax. Sa halip ay tinali ang pagbibigay nito sa mga bago at pabigat na excise tax na produkto ng langis at sugar-sweetened beverages, pati na rin sa mas malawak na VAT. Paparating na ang train na ibabangga ng Administrasyong Duterte sa mamamayan, lalo na sa mga mahihirap. Ramdam na ramdam po ng ating mga kaguruan, mga kawani at ng mga mamamayan ang impact o epekto ng halos 3 buwan na pagtaas ng mga presyo ng mga gasolina na siyang may domino effect sa ating mga presyo ng mga bilihin at ng ating mga serbisyo. Ngayon, nagpapatuloy ang mga neoliberal na atake sa edukasyon, kalusugan at batayang serbisyo. Sunod-sunod ang pagpasa ng Kongresong ito ng mga panukalang batas na magpapalubog lalo sa mga mamamayan sa kahirapan at maglalayo sa kanila mula sa kanilang karapatan sa edukasyon, kalusugan at iba pang gaya ng mga naturingang Universal Healthcare at National ID System Bills. Pinalalarin ang mga gera laban sa mamamayan, mga gerang kontra droga at kontra terorista, di umano pero pumapatay kahit sa mga inosenteng kabataan, gaya ni Kian de los Santos, Carlo Angelo Arnaiz, at Obilio Bayao, at tumatarget sa mga eskwelahan, guro at estudyante ng mga kapatid nating Lumad at Moro sa Mindanao. Gumagastos ng 323,000 pesos kada bomba upang wasakin ang mga paaralan imbis na suportahan at payubungin pa ang mga ito. Kapapasa rin sa House na ito ang panukalang 2018 budget na komprehensibong naglalaman ng mga neoliberal at pasistang palisiyang ito at komprehensibo ring lalabag sa mga karapatan ng mga mamayan. Hindi inaprubahan ang mga panukala naming amyenda gaya ng mas mataas na MOOE, pondo para sa Special Hardship Allowance, libreng medical examination, chalk allowance at lump sum para sa promotion. Sa nakaraang taon, ipinagpapatuloy ang mga antigurong pulisiya ng DepEd gaya ng pabigat na daily lesson log. Hindi rin natin nakitaan ang ahensya ng pagtindig upang suportahan ang mga laban ng mga guro at iba pang mga kawani mula sa salary increase at pagbibigay ng sapat na MOOE para sa mga operasyon ng mga eskwelahan, kabilang na ang mga non-monetary benefits sa ilalim ng collective negotiation agreements, lalong-lalo na sa 3 regional unions na meron ng approved CNA, at hanggang sa pagkondina sa pagbobomba sa mga paaralan at komunidad ng mga Lumad at Moro. Masahol din ang kalagayan ng mga guro sa mga pribadong eskwelahan dahil kasama sila sa nananawagan upang itaas ang sahod, 750 pesos kada araw para sa pribadong sektor at wakasan na ang kontraktualisasyon. Marami rin sa kanila ang biktima ngayon ng kapabayaan na ipinatutupad ng gobyernong K-12 nang walang sapat na paghahanda upang protektahan ang mga mawawalan ng trabaho at mababawasan ng sweldo. Madam Speaker, mga kapwa ko mambabatas, ito ang kinakaharap ng mga guro sa ngayon. Mga kondisyong taliwas sa ipinanawagan ng 1966 ILO UNESCO recommendation concerning the status of teachers. Ito rin ang mga kondisyong nagpapaalab sa diskontento at galit ng mga guro. Dahil sa mga kondisyong ito, lumalabas na tinatalukuran ni Pangulong Duterte ang esensya ng National Teachers Day dahil sinasawalang bahala niya ang kapakanan, kagalingan, at karapatan ng mga guro bilang isang propesyon, bilang pangunahing tagapaghatid ng edukasyon at bahagi ng lipunang Pilipino. Pinaglaban ng mga guro at ipinasa sa pamamagitan ng ACT Teachers Party List ang isang batas na nagtatakda sa October 5 bilang araw ng komemorasyon ng National Teachers Day at pagdiin sa gobyerno upang tuparin ang esensya nito. Sinasalamin ng National Teachers Day ang kahilingan ng mga guro upang kilalanin naman ng pamahalaan ang kanilang mga karapatan sa nakabubuhay na sahod at iba pang economic and labor rights, at isapatupad at ponduhan ng sapat ang mga batas at kasunduan ng CNA na ipinangako ng karapatang ito. Sa pamamagitan ng sama-samang pagkilos, matagal nang nilulunsad ng aming sektor ang komemorasyon ng World Teachers Day. Sa sama-samang pagkilos din, na pagtatagumpayan ang pagsasabatas ng National Teachers Day Law gaya ng iba pang mga na pagtagumpayan namin laban sa mga isyu ng sweldo noong mga nakaraang dekada. GSIS, chalk allowance, karapatan sa pag-unyon at collective negotiation for better working conditions at iba pa. Bilang isang sektor ay ibinahagi ng kaguruan ang kanilang ambag sa pagsulong ng kampanyang masa sa sambayanang Pilipino laban sa pork barrel at korupsyon at iba pa. Hindi pa buo ang tagumpay na ito at naharap pa ang mga at patitindihing laban ng sektor ng edukasyon at mamamayan. Kaya sa sama-samang pagkilos din ay susulong ng mga guro sa darating na October 5 ang isang malawakan at pambansang protesta upang ipanawagan at ipaglaban ang salary increase at iba pang mga ekonomiko at politikal na hinaing ng edukasyon. Ngayong darating na October 5, hindi nangihingi ng simpleng pagbati ng Happy National Teachers Day ang mga guro mula sa ating Pangulo. Mas lalong hindi sila nangihingi ng panibagong matatamis na pangako. Para sa amin, sa mamamayang Pilipino, hindi bababa sa solidong commitment at makagurong tindig mula sa Pangulo ang aming hiling. Sweldo itaas, 25,000 minimum para sa ating mga guro, 16,000 para sa ating mga kawani. No to excess tax at expanded VAT. Stop killing our youth. Lift martial law in Mindanao. Marami pong salamat, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of Honorable Castro. Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the Honorable Ria Vergara for a short manifestation.
Honorable Ria Vergara is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ang akin po ay maikling manifestation lamang ukol sa privilege speech ng aking mabuting kaibigan na si Congresswoman Castro. Kagalang-kalang na Representante Castro, dinig ko po ang iyong mga hinanaing. Subalit sana kapag kayo po ay naglilista ng mga issue, alalahanin ho naman sana natin na hindi lamang mga guro ang pinaglilingkuran ng ating mahal na presidente. Siya po ay presidente ng lahat ng Pilipino at kabilang din po ang mga pinaglilingkuran niya ang mga magsasaka, mga tricycle driver at iba pang mga sektor na mas hirap pa sa buhay. While I hear your frustration, I hope you realize that the problems our country face are myriad. We have global warming, climate change, drug war, EJKs, and they're all very complex. And this coming World Teachers Day on October 5, while I know it will be a forum for us to express our dissatisfaction, I hope it's also a day when we come together to support our president and the hard work that he's doing to, put our country together. There are lots of challenges, and I think it's counterproductive for us to go there rallying, saying you didn't do what you promised, the end of contract, you didn't increase the salaries. Alam kong gusto niyang gawin lahat to, pero siya'y presidente ng buong Pilipinas at maraming sektor din na mas nangangailangan pa ng tulong. Yun lang po, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Congressman Castro.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Castro to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I now move to recognize the gentleman from the 1st District of Makati, the Honorable Monsur Del Rosario, for his privileged speech.
Honorable Monsur Del Rosario of the 1st District of Makati City is recognized.
Madam Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, for the past 3 weeks, this representation was on an official mission abroad. I was appointed by the Philippine Olympic Committee as chef de mission to the 2017 Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games, or IMAG. I could not refuse the appointment. Sports is my passion. Public service, my vocation. Long before I was elected to Congress, even before I became an actor, I was a sportsman. I am still. Sports saved my life. You see, I was a stray youth once, escaping a broken home, living a vice-filled life, until I found the sport of Taekwondo. The sport rescued me from a perilous existence, It filled the void that resulted my childhood struggles and shielded me from the evils that once tormented my early years. Sports shaped my character. I am what I am now because of sports. I accepted the appointment as chef de mission as my way of paying back sports, which has given me so much. The IMAG is a multi-sport competition organized by the Olympic Council of Asia. Participation in the IMAG is important because the games only occur every 4 years and is highly prized by elite athletes, coaches, and national and international sporting federations. This year's IMAG was held from September 15 to 27, 2017 in Ashgabat, Turkmenistan. It has more participating countries than the Asian Games. 62 nations competed in the IMAG, consisting of 45 member countries of the Olympic Council of Asia. And for the first time, 19 countries from Oceania and the African Refugee Team. The Games saw over 6,000 athletes compete in 21 sports. We sent a delegation of 116 athletes who competed in 17 sports, as well as a number of coaches and officials, including our respective colleague and chairman of the Committee on Youth and Sports, the Honorable Congressman Conrado M. Estrella III. Over the duration of the Games, we witnessed a festival of top-level sports and showcase of world-class facilities. The events were held in multi-billion-dollar Olympic complex, which includes over 30 different facilities. The opening and closing ceremonies were held in a gleaming 45,000 capacity Ashgabat Olympic Stadium. We were amazed at the quality of the facilities and the cultural experiences the host country shared with our team during our stay in Ashgabat. We could only wish we had similar cutting-edge facilities in our country, as well as the same level of support as the massive assistance their government pours into sports development. The job of a chef de mission was not an easy one. It required significant multitasking skills, the ability to walk between the raindrops and not get wet. So to speak, the ability to exercise diplomacy without compromising. It involved endless meetings with the Philippine Sports Commission, the Philippine Olympic Committee, and the National Sports Associations to plan strategies, select athletes and officials, and prepare logistics up to the tiniest detail. It entailed acting as team spokesperson, responding to media inquiries, ensuring the responsibilities of all team personnel are carried out, and building a team environment that is conducive to a productive and positive experience for all team members. It required taking a hands-on approach in looking after the welfare of our athletes and motivating them on competition days. While national team success is dependent on quality of athletic talent and coaching, effective leadership of Team Philippines is equally critical for successful participation at the Games. I made no bold predictions. My only prayer was they perform their best for the glory of our country. And boy, they did ever. As chef de mission, I am proud to inform this noble assembly that our country's participation in the Games was a huge success. Despite the daunting challenges, Team Philippines exceeded expectations. We finished the 12-day competition with a tally of 30 medals, consisting of 2 gold, 14 silvers, 14 bronze medals, enabling the Philippines to rank 19th place among 62 countries. This is a tremendous improvement from our previous 1 gold, 2 bronze haul in the 2013 IMAG held in Incheon, South Korea that was participated by only 45 nations. We won medals in 12 of the 17 sports competed in, earning an average of 71%. We won medals in such sports as jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, weightlifting, belt and traditional wrestling, athletics, dance sport, chess, billiards, bowling, Muay Thai, Karash Judo, and electronic sports. I would like to take this opportunity to express my gratitude to Speaker Pantaleon Bebot Alvarez for allowing me to represent the House of Representatives and to lead the national delegation to the PSC led by Chairman William Butch Ramirez for its financial and technical backing, to the POC chaired by Jose Piping Coanco Jr. for entrusting the leadership reins in my hands and allowing me to shepherd the team as chef de mission, to our various sponsors whose unwavering support contributed to the success of Team Philippines. With the 2017 IMAG having drawn to close, and long after the flames on the game's cauldron have been extinguished, our memories of our athletes will be relegated to the dustbin of Philippine history. Such is ominous fate of our national athletes, forgotten, neglected, and ignored. These athletes have sacrificed their blood and sweat to make our country proud. It is only right that we not only honor their sacrifices, but give them the proper recognition they are worthy of. Madam Speaker, may I therefore request that all medal winners of the 2017 IMAG, as well as their coaches, be invited to the House of Representatives so that they can personally be granted a proper and highly deserved recognition for earning glory for our country and making our nation proud through their victories. Congressman po tayo ngayon, pero ang puso ko po ay isang Pilipinong magdirimang atleta, fighting athlete. Maraming salamat and good evening to everyone.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the 3rd District of Bukidnon, the Honorable Manuel Zubiri, for his interpellation.
Madam Speaker, would the kind gentleman from the 1st District of Makati heed to 1 or 2 questions? Madam Speaker.
Yes, Madam Speaker. And I will answer questions from the good-looking congressman from Bukidnon.
Honorable Zubiri is recognized.
Madam Speaker, as you know, that he is my best friend. That's why he is telling you that. But anyway, Madam Speaker, what is the key to the success of the Asian Games for the Philippines? I remember watching closely during the SEA Games. We were at number 6 out of 11 countries. But in the Asian Games, out of 62 nations, and you have giant nations, sporting nations, vying for medals, silver medals, and bronze medals. We came at a good 19 standing out of 62, which made me very proud. What is the key to the success of our Asian Games performance? Madam Speaker.
There's many ingredients. I can't pinpoint just one particular ingredient. I think the success in Turkmenistan resulted through the cooperation of everybody in the team. Nobody was fighting against each other. We were united, and we were able to achieve the impossible. We were there for one cause. We were like one family together fighting for the glory of our country. I think the motivation that inspired the athletes, the team was put in one building. They were all together, and nobody went home after the games. We all went there together, and we all flew out together. They were like family. And the athletes, you know, I really don't know what, I guess the prayers, it's a miracle actually. I'm still, lumulutang pa rin ako sa lupa. Hindi ako makapaniwala sa nangyari. But I think Congressman Estrella is here. He can say a few words. He witnessed how the games, how incredible the games were and how incredible the athletes were. But I think we have to be united. That's a small speck, an example. If we are united, we can achieve the impossible. So, to my good friend, Congressman Subiri, I'm still trying to figure out what really the success is, but I think the success was we were confined in one place. We were not allowed to leave, and we had to be together, and we all had to do our roles together. The secretariat did their job, the medical staff did their job, the coaches did their job, the athletes did their job to the best of their ability. And I think this is a good stepping stone for Philippine sports. I think we can learn from this, that if we stop fighting with each other, we can surpass insurmountable odds and achieve the greatness we're all looking for in our athletes. That's all I can say.
Madam Speaker, I think the key word is united. I remember the chef de mission, the first district congressman from Makati, he sent me a few messages, Viber messages, and they were all so happy. In every tournament, all of them were there united. And this is the same way I pray every night that this country of ours be united. Because if we are all united, all people from all walks of life unite and see each other as one nation, then there is no barrier that can destroy us or no barrier that can stop us. Anyway, I would just like to manifest to my very good friend, to my schoolmate, to my teammate, I salute you. You have done what no one has done for Philippine sports. As chef de mission, you did it not for yourself, but for your beloved country. And of course, to the athletes who was there, because you were there behind them all the time. Any tournament, any moment, from morning till late at night, you were there with them. To you and to the Team Philippines, kayo po, you are our heroes. We are also proud of you. Mabuhay kayong lahat. Mabuhay tayong lahat. Mga Pilipino, higit sa lahat, mabuhay ang ating bansa. Republiko ng Pilipino. Hindi Pilipino ng isa, hindi Pilipino ng dalawa, hindi Pilipino ng tatlo, kundi Pilipino ng higit na 100 milyon na Pilipino. Mabuhay ka, Chef de Mission, Mon de Rosario, mabuhay Team Philippines, mabuhay ang ating bansa. Marami pong salamat, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. Thank you, Congressman Manuel Subiri. Thank you for your support Thank you for this House of Representatives support.
It's really emotional. We look forward really to see the team that made the Philippines proud in the halls of Congress. Honorable Del Rosario.
Madam Speaker,
Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Next, to interpolate, I move that we recognize the honorable gentleman from the 1st District of Manila, Congressman Manuel Luis Lopez.
Honorable Manuel Lopez is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. If the distinguished and very brave gentleman from the 1st District of Makati is composed enough to answer a few questions of interpolation.
I will answer another handsome congressman from Manila City, my senior in Philippine sports, the guy who knows what backroom negotiations are in international competition. I learned a lot from this guy when I was still an athlete and he was doing a lot of those negotiations behind the doors.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. To my fellow athlete and fellow sports administrator, I was once in your position when I headed amateur boxing and being the first Vice President of the Olympic Committee as Assistant Chef de Mission and Chef de Mission of the Asian Games. And I understand fully well the hardships that you have undergone, considering that the present state of Philippine sports is not in an all-time high. We are all aghast as to the performance exhibited by the delegation and contingent to the 4th Asian Indoor Martial Arts Games. And I think we have to give credit to the leadership that carried the baton of the whole contingent dahil you carried the team very well. Now, as mentioned by Congressman Subiri, you have also replied quite well with regards the success of your delegation. But I am not, you are being very modest in the sense that you are praising the Lord for the success that we have attained. While it is true that divine intervention has interceded, alam nyo po, darating po ang Southeast Asian Games sa 2019. At ang bayang Pilipinas ay dadaan po sa malaking pagsubok. Pagsubok po dahil kanina binanggit ko na nasa hindi po magandang kalagayan ang larangan ng palakasan at sigurado ko may mga sikreto ka na ginawa kung bakit naging matagumpay yung inyo pong pinakita at pinamalas sa taong bayan. We're all proud of you. And I think it is just but proper that you share the secrets of your success dahil kami po, sa amin po sa amateur boxing, ay pinapaliwanag ko po roon sa aming mga sumunod at sumubaybay ang aming pong naging sikreto. Siguro in an indoor or in an executive session, you will be more privy to explain to us on what are your secrets, Mr. Chairman. Now, one little question. Bakit po naging 62 ang bayan na nakilahok? Samantalang ang aking pong pagkaintindi sa titulo pa lamang, Asian Indoor, ang katagang Asian ay binubuo lamang po ng 44 na bayan ng Asia. Bakit po ba naging 62? At sana pakibanggit na rin kung inyo pong mamarapatin ang inyo pong tunay na sikreto.
Okay, Madam Speaker, parang napapasubo ako rito. Anyway, for the countries na nag-participate, originally 45 yun. naisip ng Olympic Council of Asia na isamang oceanic countries and African refugee countries. At maging mas malaki ang kompetisyon, mas mahirap, at mas mabigat kaysa sa Asian Games. Dahil naghahanap sila ng mga susunod na Asian Olympic medalists. Dito binabantayan ang Asia ng iba't ibang parte ng mundo. Yun ang nakita ko doon. Nakita ko doon yung Germany, yung France, yung Spain, yung Italy. Binabantayan kung sino sa Asia ang maging superpower house. Pinaghahandaan nila ang 2020 Tokyo Olympics. At doon ko nakita na kaya ng Pilipinong atleta, kaya ng mga Asian athletes mag-excel sa world level. Now, as far as our secrets or my secrets are concerned, I don't know if I should reveal it here. Maybe sa committee na lang ng Youth and Sports pag nag-uusap tayo. But maganda siguro itanong nyo sa atleta kung anong kaibahan ng leadership ng CDM nila kumpara sa leadership ng mga previous CDM. Dahil if I start talking about what I did, parang binubuhat ko ang sarili kong bangko. Hindi naman yatang magandang pakinggan yon.
Sige po. Thank you po, Honorable Gentleman from Makati. Madam Speaker, I'd like to add also one more thing before I conclude. At yun nga pong binanggit ko kanina, 2019, the whole country will play host to the 2019 Southeast Asian Games. Yung inyo pong pinamalas being a quadrennial event. I'm sure that while so many countries prepare for that, ang preparasyon po ng ating bayan was not as thorough as it should have been. And ako po, I'm very realistic, and ang aking pong paniwala na this event that has just transpired should serve as a very glaring example in our technical preparations for the coming Southeast Asian Games. Yung inyo pong binamalas, higit pa sa Asian Games, at nasisiguro ko na we can perform better, but just like what you said, we should set aside all personal interest, and that I would just like to commend, Madam Speaker, the leadership that carried this contingent into a very victorious campaign, and thus giving the Philippines, in most often than not international competitions, what is called a debacle. Ito po ay pinakita natin na talagang ang Pilipino po kaya, bagamat ang limitasyon po ng pondo, ng preparasyon, ng training ay kulang, ay naipakita po ng ating magiting na kasamahan ng Makati ang kung paano po magdala ng isang koponan, lalo na sa ibang bayan. Maraming salamat po, Madam Speaker, and the fine gentleman from Makati. Thank you.
Madam Speaker, magbibigay ako ng konting sikreto. Dahil ang tingin sa akin ni Congressman Manny Lopez, parang magsalita ka naman. Isa lang, isang sikreto. Marami po tayong ginawang strategy, pero isang sikreto. Alam niyo po, 30 years ago, I felt exactly how these fighting athletes were feeling. Bago ng laban nila, 100 sila kinausap ko. Lalo na yung makikipag-upakan susunod na araw. Sabi ko sa kanila, kung anong nararamdaman nyo ngayon, bago kayo matulog at bukas makipag-upakan kayo, naranasan ko yan. Magulpi kayo, ma-knockout kayo, sumuka kayo ng dugo, mabalian kayo ng buto, naranasan ko yan. Manalo kayo, umakyat kayo sa podium, tumanggap kayo ng medalya, marinig nyo yung national anthem of the Philippines, naranasan ko yan. Umuwi kayo, masaya, naranasan ko yan. Umuwi kayong luhaan, naranasan ko yan.
Sabi ko sa kanila, isa lang ang isipin nyo. 6 months kayo nag-training, 7 hours a day. You have 9 minutes to show the world your moment of greatness. Are you gonna throw that away? Or are you gonna fight till you get knocked out? And I said, I want to see you fight till you get knocked out. If you don't fight, then this is your last time you're gonna bring the flag of the Philippines anywhere in the world. And I told them, I want to see you fight. And I don't care if you lose. You fight and show the Filipino fighting spirit, and I will salute you. And 95, maybe 100%, 99% of them did what I asked them to do. And I hugged them even if they lost. I hugged them even if they got knocked out. Puno sila ng pawis, niyakap ko sila. And they were very thankful that from the beginning till the end, hindi ko sila iniwan. Yan ang isang sikreto na ginawa natin doon.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. But I'm very sure that aside from what the honorable gentleman from Makati has said, marami pa pong laman sa bulsa yan na hindi sinasabi, and we will just divulge it in the proper time. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Mr. Gentleman from Makati.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from the party list Abono, the Honorable Conrado Estrella III, for his interpellation.
Thank you, Majority Floor Leader. Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you also, the distinguished gentleman from Makati. At the outset, Madam Speaker, I'd like to congratulate the chef de mission of the Philippine delegation in the recently concluded Asian Indoor and Martial Arts Games in Turkmenistan. I was with the group, Madam Speaker, and I witnessed the leadership and the care of the distinguished gentleman from Makati. He really shepherded the athletes in the right path. And equally, I'd like to congratulate him for accepting a bigger responsibility of being the chef de mission for the forthcoming Asian Games that will be hosted here in Manila. Madam Speaker, being one among the 62 is challenging indeed, but being the one taking care of 11 countries participating in Asian Games is more challenging. And I think the POC made the right decision when they recommended the gentleman from Makati as the chef de mission for these forthcoming Asian Games here in the Philippines. And I was listening to the exchanges that they were having earlier, and they were trying to figure out what was the secret why the delegation in IMAG performed better than our delegation in the Southeast Asian Games. And perhaps let me share also, I think the secret is long preparation, and that I would like to say that the chef de mission was right, being an athlete himself. He understood the importance of early preparation, and that he made it a point to bring the athletes, our athletes, to Turkmenistan way ahead of time.
Yes.
And they even chartered a flight, and thanks to the POC and the Philippine Sports Commission for supporting them in that endeavor. They flew to Turkmenistan ahead of time in order to see to it that the athletes will be rested, and they will be conditioned for the venue of the event. But looking at this, there is reason for us to celebrate. But I think there is more to be done. And there is a greater challenge, Madam Speaker. I don't know if
the distinguished chef de mission in the person of Congressman Monsur del Rosario would agree with me that I think the best preparation is that we bring sports down to the grassroots level. And more importantly, we bring the sports that we will surely excel in the grassroots level. Like right now, Madam Speaker, the present Palarong Pambansa, it begins in the district level, in the intramurals, and then it goes up to the division level, and then to the regional level, in the Palarong Pambansa. There are sports there that we are not playing, that we could surely excel in the future. One of that is, one of these sports that I am referring to is diving, the gymnastics, and also synchronized swimming. These are the sports that we can excel. You don't need to be a rocket scientist to determine that if you are more petite, you are smaller, you are lighter, it's easier for you to maneuver. That's why I hope the distinguished gentleman from Makati would also help us, together with the sports-minded members of the House, to pursue these sports where we can excel in the Olympics in the future. If you have tried it already, the distinguished gentleman from Makati have tried it already, the result of long preparation, and we go longer, further back, so that we can prepare for these sports where we can excel in the future. So with the distinguished chef de mission agree with me.
I completely agree with you, and I would like to add that yes, preparation is really one factor, one key for success. We went around almost to all 17 National Sports Association, check what they needed, what they needed to perform, to win. And hosting the 2019 SEA Games will be more challenging because pressure is upon us to come up on top and be number one. I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that we will be. What I'm saying is it is possible, but it will take a lot of hard work, and they're trying to compare it to the 2005 SEA Games. But remember, 2005 is different. The times have changed. People change. The world changes. The sport changes. Every year, some new technology comes out. It changes. So, you know, no bold predictions, just accurate ones that I can promise that it is a possibility. We just have to work hard to get there. And with the support of the House of Representatives behind this, I have a gut feel that we will do very well. I have this good feeling knowing that the chairman himself and a couple of congressmen here who I get to talk to once in a while, who really love sports. We all know we have a drug problem in our country, and I've been insisting and emphasizing that sports can help change that problem. Let's give the children, the youth, something to aspire for, something where they can be great and where our country can be great again. Again, thank you, Congressman Estrella, for being with us, for walking with me in the opening ceremonies. And he was so shocked, and he kept telling me, my God, this is so majestic. This is so majestic. This is so ostentatious. This is my first time to walk in an opening ceremony. And I'm saying, Chairman, it's always like this when you walk for your country. You gotta look good. You gotta smile and show the world we can win.
Indeed, I agree with the gentleman from Makati, Madam Speaker. And the other thing that I would like to ask the gentleman
the distinguished chef de mission, not only of the IMAG, but also for the forthcoming Southeast Asian Games here in the Philippines. How could our government and the private sector support this endeavor and also our athletes? Would you kindly give us a
Number one,
few secrets on that?
number one, key. Number one, what we need to do is stop fighting with each other. The opponent is outside of our country. The opponent is not within us. The opponent is not you or him or her. The opponent is outside. How can we win if we keep fighting amongst ourselves? I really wish there is some peace and unity in Philippine sports. Because what happened in IMAG Turkmenistan is just a small peak as an example of what we can achieve if we are united. And hopefully that can happen within 2 years. That's number one. Everything else will fall into place once that happens because we'll be focused on only one thing, getting those gold medals for the country.
I have no choice but to agree with the distinguished gentleman from Makati because I subscribe to the dictum that sports should unite us. And the only way, the only ticket to being on top is for us to help one another and instead of fighting each other. That's why I am happy because with age creeping up on the leadership of Philippine sports, all of a sudden we have discovered in the person of the chef de mission, distinguished gentleman from Makati, a looming leader, future leader, not future, the next leader of the sports community of our nation. So, Madam Speaker, I would like to again congratulate the gentleman from Makati for his leadership. I have witnessed it. Instead of him staying in the luxurious hotels, being chef de mission, he was there together with the athletes. He had himself camped there in the athletes building. He was talking with them. He was there, and in fact, when one of our athletes was hospitalized because his ribs was fractured, he was there also. He was the one looking after each and every one of them. And thank you for your service to the nation. Please do not cry anymore because your makeup might be smudged. So, huwag ka na umiyak. At sinasabi sa akin ni Majority Floor Leader kanina, Conrad, ano ba yung ginagawa mo dyan sa youth and sports at nag-iiyakan mga tao? I just said that, you are just so emotional about it because this is indeed, it came as a surprise. We were expecting not so good performance because there are 62 nations. I liked before there were only 44, and there was greater challenge now. But we pulled through, and thank you for the honor that you have, together with the athletes. Thank you for the honor that you have brought our nation. Thank you, Madam Chairperson. Thank you, Majority Floor Leader.
Thank you for the support.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the speech of the Honorable Del Rosario and its interpolations to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the lady from the Gabriela party list, Honorable Arlene Brosas, for her privileged speech.
Honorable Arlene Rosas, Gabriela Party List is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, noong Sabado, Setyembre 30, ang kinatawang ito kasama ang dalawa pang kinatawan ng Kongreso na sina Antonio Tinio ng ACT Teachers Party List at Ariel Casilaw ng Anak Pawis Party List ay nagtungo sa Lobo, Batangas upang maging bahagi ng isang humanitarian mission para sa mahigit 100 pamilya na sapilitang napalikas dahil sa tuloy-tuloy na aerial bombings ng 730th Combat Group, Philippine Air Force at ng 202nd IBPA sa Mount Banoy sa Batangas. Ang operasyong militar at ang sunod-sunod na aerial bombings sa naturang lugar ay nagsimula pa noong ika-24 ng Setyembre. Panakanakang nakatatanggap ng ulat ang mga volunteer ng Karapatan Southern Tagalog ng matinding pagkawasak ng mga komunidad, kabilang na ang tangke ng tubig sa naturang komunidad. Nasa may 15 paaralan ang nagsuspinde ng klase sa 12 barangay dahil na rin sa isinagawang mga airstrikes ng AFP. Naiulat din ng pagkasawi ng hindi bababa sa 3 individual, kabilang ng isang bata. Madam Speaker, mga kapwa-kinatawan, ang operasyong inilunsad ng AFP na ayon sa kanila ay bunsod ng isang engkwentro sa mga revolusyonaryong New People's Army ay nagpahamak at naglagay sa panganib sa buhay at kabuhayan ng mga sibilyan sa lugar. Malinaw itong paglabag sa Comprehensive Agreement on the Respect for Human Rights and International Humanitarian Law o CARIL at ng mga pandaigdigang batas sa paglulunsad ng digma. Dagdag pang paglabag ang pagpigil sa humanitarian mission na maabot ang mga komunidad na nangangailangan ng tulong. At wala pong ibang paraan para ma-check ito dahil hindi nga po nakapasok ang humanitarian mission para malaman kung ano talaga ang nangyari sa mga lugar. Mula nang dumating ang convoy ng humanitarian mission sa Batangas City, ay makailang beses kaming hinarang hanggang sa napilitang manatili na lamang sa Barangay San Miguel. Ilang barangay pa ang layo mula sa aming tinakdang destinasyon kung saan higit na makatutugon ang humanitarian mission sa mga nangangailangan. Sa mga huling ulat, lumalabas na tuloy-tuloy na harassment at panghaharang sa mga nais tumulong at hanggang kahapon ay hindi pa rin pinalusot ang humanitarian mission. Sa Batangas City Pier kahapon ay kinasahan pa ng baby Armalite ng isang alagad ng PNP na may nameplate na Ronquillo at Reyes ang nagtangkang takutin ang delegasyon. Labis kaming nababahala, nagdududa at nagagalit sa ganitong aktwasyon ng AFP na naghahari-harian habang naghahasik ng lagim at kamatayan sa naturang lugar. May martial law na po ba sa lalawigan ng Batangas? Matindi rin ang aming hinalang sa likod ng matinding pag-atake sa lugar ay ang madulas na pagpapapasok ng operasyong pagmimina sa Mount Banoy. Ang lalawigan ng Batangas ay hitik sa likas na yaman, lalo na ang tinaguriang Mount Banoy at Mount Nagiling Complex. Ang mga barangay ng Santo Domingo, Cumba, Conde Itaas, Sico, Pinamukan, Simlong, Talahib, Pandayan, Talumpok Silangan, Banalo, Lobo, Mabilog na Bundok ay bahagi ng 29,000 hektarya na tumatahi sa 2 bundok na ito. Kinasasakupan ng mga planong large-scale open-pit mines sa ilalim ng mga mineral production sharing agreements ng kumpanyang Australiano na Red Mountain at mga lokal nitong kasosyo na Mindoro Resources Limited at Egerton Gold. Ang nakapipinsalang plano ng open pit mine ay mariing tinututulan ng mga mamamayan ng Batangas at kabilang din sa mga tinututulan ng dating DENR Secretary na si Gina Lopez. Sa patuloy na pagharang ng AFP sa anumang tulong sa lugar, lalo't higit sa mahigit 100 pamilyang apektado ng kanilang operasyon, lalong lumalakas ang pag-ugong ng balitang ang pagbimina ng ginto sa naturang lugar ang dahilan ng sunod-sunod na pagpapaulan ng bomba at pagpapasabog sa Mount Banoy. Ang kinatawang ito at ang Gabriela Women's Party na naging bahagi ng humanitarian and fact-finding mission at nananawagang itigil ang paghahari ng AFP sa naturang lugar upang agad na maipaabot ang tulong sa mga residente nito. Hinihiling rin naming imbestigahan ng kapulungang ito ang mga planong pagmimina sa naturang lugar upang tuluyang makita ang pinsalang maaaring idulot nito sa Mount Banoy at mga kanugnog na kabundukan. Magandang hapon po, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the privileged speech of the Honorable Brosas to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we recognize the gentleman from Anak Pawis Party List, the Honorable Ariel Casilao, for his privileged speech.
Congressman Ariel Casilao is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Magandang gabi sa ating lahat. Madam Speaker, mga kasamang mambabatas, pagbati ng hustisya at kapayapaan ang ipinapatid ng kinatawang ito. Gaya ng nabanggit ng aking kasama sa Makabayan Block, Congresswoman Arlene Brosas, kabilang ang kinatawang ito noong September 30, nakasama sa inilunsad na humanitarian mission sa probinsya ng Batangas upang makatulong sa paghahatid ng mga relief goods sa mga apektadong magsasaka. In fact, Madam Speaker, meron kaming mga barangay and municipal chapters ng Anak Pawis Party List sa pangunguna ng mga organisasyon ng mga magsasaka at mangingisda, nakabilang sa mahigit 200 nagbakwit dahil sa serye ng pambobomba, artillery and aerial bombardment mula pa noong September 21 hanggang September 24. Kung kaya sila ngayon ay napilitang lisanin ang kanilang mga tahanan at mga bukirin sa takot na matamaan at matamasa ang brigade size na military operation sa probinsyang iyon. Ang katwiran ng AFP, Madam Speaker, sa ilalim ng 202nd Infantry Brigade ng Philippine Army at 730th Combat Group ng Philippine Air Force, tinutugis raw nila ang mga membro ng New People's Army na nakaengkwentro nila noong September 24 sa Mount Banoy sa pagitan ng Batangas City at Bayan ng Lubok. Ang operasyong militar na ito ay nagbunga sa pagkansela ng mga klase sa mga paaralan sa 12 paaralan, sa 12 barangay. Bukod sa pagbakwit ng mga residenteng magsasaka, meron ding naitala na report na 2 sibilyan ang namatay dahil sa operasyong ito. Sa ganitong kalagayan, nais ng kinatawang ito na maimbestigahan at malaman ang mga pangyayari. Ngunit bigo kami na makapasok sa tarangkahan pa lang sa Barangay San Miguel. Ako na miyembro na mismo ng kongresong ito ay naging biktima pa sa harassment ng mga pwersa ng gobyerno. Nang ang aming delegasyon ay hinarang ng PNP sa checkpoint, kami ay kununan ng litrato nang walang permiso, ininspeksyon ang mga relief goods, dinelay hanggang pinagbawalan kaming maghatid ng tulong sa mga apektado, at mas malala pa, Madam Speaker, Nang kami ay pauwi, sinundan ng mga armadong pulis gamit ang sasakyan ng SWAT na puno ng mga high-powered rifle carrying na mga police personnel. Ito ay sa kabila na nagpakilala kami. Nakasama ang ibang mga kinatawan sa ilalim ng makabayan na miyembro ng House of Representatives. Pinapauna ko na, Madam Speaker, ipinapanawagan ko sa Kongresong ito na imbestigahan ang mga martial law na practice ng AFP at ng PNP sa Batangas City. Gusto ko silang isalang sa Kongresong ito kung paano sila umabot sa mga ganoong kautusan na dumulo sa malawakang paglabag sa karapatan ng mga magsasaka sa lugar. Sa ulat na nakarating sa amin, nagpapulong ang mga militar sa mga apektadong barangay na huwag daw umano tanggapin ang mga anumang tulong mula sa grupong karapatan, Bayan Muna, Anak Pawis at iba pang mga makakaliwang grupo. Dahil daw sila ay mga membro ng NPA o mga supporter ng NPA. Ito ay malinaw na red baiting, Madam Speaker. Pagdidikta at paglabag sa kalayaan at karapatan ng mga mamayan. Dagdag dito, kahapon ay hinarang ng mga elemento ng PNP Highway Patrol Group ang mga jeep na may daladalang mga relief goods. Nadadalhin sana sa isang kampuhan ng mga taga-suporta sa bukana ng Batangas Pier para doon gawing repacking ng mga goods. At gaya ng nabanggit ni Congresswoman Brosas, may isang pulis na nagkasa ng kanyang service firearm para takutin ang mga delegado ng humanitarian mission at ang aming mga kasamahan na huwag nang ituloy ang repacking ng mga relief goods. Bukod pa dito, pinagsarhan ang gate ng mga delegado ng humanitarian mission na nais makipagdialogo kay Batangas Governor Herminilando Dodo Mandanas upang ihain ang suliranin ng mga apektadong barangay ng operasyong militar at aerial bombings na humingi ng tulong. Madam Speaker, sa ilang aktibidad pa lamang na ito, kitang-kita na ang mga malamartial law na panunupil ng AFP at ng PNP. Sino ba sila para harangin ang tulong ng mga concerned na mamamayan para sa mga apektadong magsasaka? Meron ba silang itinatago? Bakit hindi payagan na makapasok sa mga komunidad na ito? At binanggit na wala ng aerial bombardment mula pa noong September 27, 28, 29. Pero bakit nakakonsentrate pa rin sa mga Bakwit Center, sa barangay gym, sa municipal gym, ang ilang mga daan-daang pamilya? Ito ay mga malinaw na mukha ng human rights violation sa aktwal. At maging ang pagharang sa any humanitarian aid ay isang forma ng economic embargo na isang kabahagi ng malalang war crime sa mata ng international community. Kinukundina ng kinatawang ito ang mga martial law na panunupil. Kung kaya inuulit ko ang panawagang imbestigan nito ng Kongreso, ipatawag ang mga Poncio Pilatong pasimuno nang mismo ang manawagang panagutin sila sa ginawa nilang pagpapahirap sa mga magsasaka. Kung wala silang tinatago, wala silang dahilan na kami ay harangin. Kung malinis ang kanilang konsensya, hindi sila magiging mag-abuso sa kanilang kapangyarihan. Dapat malaya ang sino man, tagaroon man o hindi, mga magsasaka man o mga lehitimong grupo na magpahayag tungkol sa kanilang kalagayan. Ngunit kabaliktaran ang nangyayari hanggang sa kasalukuyan, Madam Speaker. Nais ko ring itulak ang Kongresong ito sa nagiging SOP o Standard Operating Procedure na implementasyon ng AFP sa mga aerial bombardments na kada may enkwentro na lang, bomba rito, bomba roon, ang isinasagawa nito sa mga komunidad ng mga magsasaka. Ito ay sa kabila na ang pambobomba ng mga sibilyang komunidad ay isang malalang war crime. Madam Speaker, 2017 na ngayon. Pero nagaganap pa rin ang mga nasasaksihan natin sa mga teleserye, sa mga palabas, sa sine, pero dito mismo sa mga bahagi, mga rehiyon kung saan merong mga malalakas na mga revolusyonaryong kilusan at sa likod nito, merong mga nakaamba na mga interes tulad ng mina at iba pa na mga interes pang negosyo ay nangyayari ang mga ganitong pag-atake sa karapatan. Bilang panghuli, Madam Speaker at mga kapwa ko mambabatas, maigpit na kinukundina ng kinatawang ito 10 ng mga kasamahan ko sa Koalisyong Makabayan at mga chapter namin sa iba't ibang rehiyon ang patuloy at nakaamba pa na mga planong pagsasagawa pa ng mga aerial bombardments at palalang brigade-size military operation ng AFP sa probinsya ng Batangas. Kaya, Madam Speaker, hinihiling namin na ito, in the proper time, ay mabigyan ng kaukulang pansin ng Kongresong ito at patuloy pa rin nagrereklamo at patuloy pang kumukontak ang ating mga kasamahan dahil habang sinasabing clear na ang lugar, pero hindi pa rin pinapayagan ang anumang humanitarian mission. Magandang gabi, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move that we refer the privileged speech of the Honorable Casilaw to the Committee on Rules for its appropriate action.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we terminate the privilege hour.
Any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we now proceed with the additional reference of business and request that the Secretary General be directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions on first reading as well as communications and committee reports.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The Secretary General is directed to read the titles of the bills and resolutions.
Additional reference of business, committee reports. Report number 400 on House Bill number 6512.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 401 on House Bill number 6513.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 402 on House Bill number 6517.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 403 on House Bill number 6521.
To the Committee on Rules.
Report number 404 on House Bill number 6522.
To the Committee on Rules. Majority Leader.
Madam Speaker, I move for the change of referral of the following measures. House Bill numbers 92, 6121, and 6263, providing for the basic law for the Bangsamoro, from the Committees on Local Government and Muslim Affairs to the Committees on Local Government and Muslim Affairs and Special Committee on Peace, Reconciliation, and Unity. House Bills numbers 539, 1605, 3529, and 4955, institutionalizing a pre-hospital emergency care system, from the Committee on Health to the Committees on Health and Civil Service and Professional Regulation. Number 3, House Bill number 3731, including the fact of intoxication in the presence of non-resident or alumni fraternity members during hazing as aggravating circumstances to increase applicable penalties, from the Committee on Revision of Laws to the Committee on Justice. Fourth, House Bill number 3963, prohibiting hazing and regulating other forms of initiation rights of fraternities, sororities, and other organizations, from the Committee on Revision of Laws to the Committee on Justice. And lastly, House Bill number 5088, providing for the creation of the Central Luzon River Control System Commission, covering the provinces of Bataan, Bulacan, Nueva Ecija, Pampanga, Tarlac, and Zambales, from the Committee on Public Works and Highways to the Committees on Good Government Reorganization and Public Works and Highways.
Is there any objection? The chair hears none. The motion is approved.
Madam Speaker, I move that we adjourn session until tomorrow, October 3, at 4 p.m. at 4 p.m.
The session is adjourned.